Hi there. So today, welcome to the podcast, and I am with Josh from the YouTube channel Melbourne Train Guy, and I think you know who I am.
G'day, g'day. I don't know if I look at the camera or look at Paul, but it is indeed me, Melbourne Train Guy.
You can do whatever you want.
I've only done one YouTube recording with my face on a camera, so I'm still not used to. What do I do with my hands?
Yeah, well, I'm married to a Greek. Hands go everywhere. It's normal. Of course.
We are sat in the middle of a public park in the city.
We are, and just for the camera, we deliberately picked a place that had no kids, and now we're surrounded by them. But that's life.
That is life indeed.
It is indeed. It's just what's going to happen.
It's such a lovely day today, really. It was quite miserable and raining when I left my particular part of Melbourne this morning.
I did see your part of the world got a bit drowned yesterday.
Yeah, we had a storm. Not too bad of a storm, but it was thunder and lightning. Quite nice.
Yeah.
Especially after all these dang hot days, like 40 degrees. But
we were expecting that at Puffing Billy, and I think the only 3 or 4 drops of rain that we had were the ones that made me slip on the way up the bank.
That'd be right. That'd be right. No.
Yep. It's all right. I recovered it well enough.
It would have been working in the hot environment of a steam loco cab. That would have been humid as heck, I imagine. All of just the...
Nah, it's dry in there.
Dry, okay.
It's never humid inside the cab.
Okay.
Often humid outside the cab, but never inside.
I don't like humidity. Humidity is bad. Yeah. Very bad.
I think probably most people that listen to this podcast or watch it on YouTube, whichever way they consume it, know that I work on a heritage railway. I am a fireman, and firemen are allowed to drive when their driver feels like letting them. And I was fortunate yesterday, I actually drove most of the day. So
nice.
I was quite happy about that.
Nice. I did see your, I think it was maybe a week or 2 ago, you had a Members First video of you driving, was it the green 6A?
Yeah, same loco yesterday.
That was a fun video to watch.
Yeah.
I saw that from time to time you kind of put you like leaned up against, was it like a foot plate, and then like leaned right up against, is that like a steep banking angle or?
No, it's just so I can see over the top of the door, because the window's a great height for me, but the door puts the piece of wood from the door right in front of my eyes.
Right where you don't want it to. What was the cord? You kept grabbing a cord behind you. What was that?
That releases the loco brake, so it's like bail off in an American loco.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so once you've actually started to brake and you can feel the train decelerating, if you want to last for a longer run, so you don't have to release the brakes, you get rid of the loco brakes, because the loco weight is about half as much as the train.
Okay.
And that way you've only got brakes on the train and the loco's freewheeling.
I stole your idea. I heard you say on, it might have been a stream, but it might have been a video, one of the drivers on your line said something about getting your train up to speed, using the train brake to like get you to where you need to be, and then dropping the train brake and using a loco brake to basically maintain that speed.
Yep.
I know you were talking about vacuum brakes, but I have so stolen that idea for the shed, and it works a treat.
Yeah, well, you can actually use that on any train. So you use the train brake and let everything bunch up behind the engine a bit, and then you can use the independent brake after that. And if you're shunting, it's probably the only brake you use, because most likely the air or vacuum is not put through to the carriages, because no one bothers when they're shunting.
I never was sure if using the loco brake on a train it never felt right, because one, it's not very effective at actually like braking a train if you've got a train on the end of your loco.
It shouldn't be if you think about it. It's good at maintaining speed.
Well, I'm not ashamed to say, when I first started playing Train Sim World, I didn't know very much about actual trains. I thought that I did, but I actually remarked in one of my videos not too long ago that I didn't actually know what neutral sections were, and I would pull my notches off on a diesel loco coming through a neutral section, because I pretty much thought it meant don't apply power, not like electric trains don't apply power. I thought it meant all trains, no power. I'm like, fun. Yeah. Learning. It's all about learning.
It is. And I think it's an important thing to recognise, because a lot of people come into games like Train Sim World or Classic or SimRail or whatever it is they happen to find first, and they know nothing about trains. They just, boy, hey, that looks like fun.
I've always, as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to be not just a train driver, but specifically for V-line. Back when I was a kid, the N class was like fairly common.
The dog bone.
And that was what I wanted. I wanted to be either that or a sprinter, because I seem to have memories of them running through Sunshine train station.
Yeah, they
maybe
did.
out Sunbury way.
Yeah, they did. And
But
Melton.
I think even the
Sunbury and Melton, and I think sprinters even went all the way to Ballarat sometimes.
I think we even had, is it the A class, the one that looks like an F7?
Yeah, yeah.
But
There's the A class that were originally the B class. Go figure.
but
They put new engines in them and called them an A class.
nowadays it's quite surprising, because I still would very much like to be a train driver, but life and now Train Sim World gets to be my I get to live vicariously through Train Sim World, I think is what I'm trying to say. It's such a great game.
Well, simple question. What stops you being a train driver? If it's a health thing, don't tell me. But if it's not,
Yeah,
if
pretty much that.
Yep.
I've heard you say that there's certain things that you get assessed on when you are getting your license or qualifications to be a train driver. And without going too much into it, I can't do those. So unfortunately, I suppose I could still work in the railways, doing like, what is it, maintenance of way, or things of that nature. But
it's not as much fun as driving trains, though.
no, it really is not. Although it's quite fun. Every now and then you get a really nice train driver who'll let you only peek your head into the cab. They've never let me actually take pictures. I suspect they'd get in trouble if they let you get in there and take videos and touch things. But I keep trying. Every time I see an HCMT East Packy, I'm like, "Can I record in your cab, please?" And they're like, "No, you cannot." I'm like, "Oh man, I really would like to." It's good fun.
I would approach the smaller operators over Metro.
Yeah.
Because the smaller operators are a little more rail fan friendly generally.
I think if I was able to get myself out to I think there are a few heritage railways out in my part of Melbourne, diesel loco ones, maybe steam ones. I don't know. Actually, I only know really Puffing Billy, and that's only because I went on it as like a wee lad.
Yep.
Like way back in the day.
Nearest to you would be Goldfields.
Okay.
Which is Walhalla.
That's actually not too far at all.
WGR. Yeah, it runs
Nice.
from Walhalla to Thompson.
That's
a volunteer railway, so yeah, you could always go and help them out.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've actually even thought about as a cool, not for anything other than just I don't really do a lot of socializing, and I thought it might be a cool kind of a way to socialize, but also a way to kind of do something fun that is also something I like. Maybe volunteering on a heritage railway, even just like you need someone on the weekend to like walk down the track and pick up litter. I think even that would be kind of fun. Heritage railways are really interesting to me because, as far as I know, they don't get government funding. It's mostly donations and like member support.
Depends what they are. So
okay.
the one I work for is actually a statutory authority, so it is government.
Oh, okay.
But they're not funded. They have to be self-sufficient.
Okay.
Most statutory authorities actually do. They have to raise their own money.
But you get all of the regulation and none of the benefit.
Yeah.
Good fun. Good fun.
Yes. And some heritage railways are officially what's called a tramway. So don't get it confused with the trams running up and down Nicholson Street behind us. A tramway is a railway that's not operating under the railway rules.
Oh, okay. So like they don't have the same requirements as like Metro or like an ARTC controlled.
Yeah. They still have rules and there's still requirements of operation and things like that, but they're much simpler.
Okay.
Whereas ours comes under, we're a railway. We're like a gazetted railway.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you guys have got like proper, maybe not to the same extent as what Metro and V-Line
No, they are.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's surprising. I would never have guessed that.
Yep. And we have medicals every couple of years, and you have theory exams every 5 years.
Damn.
And you get practically examined as well. And you might know you're being practically examined, or you might not. You might just be rostered on with one of the on-the-job training drivers, and at the end of the day, they go, "Congratulations, you passed."
Oh, really?
Or they don't.
That's interesting. I don't think I would. Well, actually, no. I think I'd probably go better being assessed if I didn't know I was being assessed. whenever I know I'm being watched,
You can choose to be assessed that way.
Okay.
Yeah. If you struggle with being observed, you can choose to be assessed quietly.
I think it's when you know that you're being like watched, but not watched, but like assessed. You kind of, oh, maybe not everyone, but me. I always, it's even more stressful. You kind of like not doubt yourself, but you're like, you do what you think is right. And you're like, oh crap, what was that right?
Well, that's okay. That's why there's two of you. That's why there's two people working in a cab. But not so much on the big railways, but on ours there is. With your attitude and things, I reckon the only thing you'd struggle with is the cab is sterile, which means you don't talk unless you have to.
Yeah.
And the main reason for that is because in a steam cab, it's ridiculously noisy, and both you and the driver are listening for key sounds to know what the engine's doing.
I would imagine in steam trains, you kind of would need to be focused on all of the different like valves and water levels and steam levels and all of the different things. It's not as simple as power brake, make go train.
No. Yeah,
Well,
it actually is why I've said on stream quite a few times and in my steam engine tutorials, it's like what I'm teaching is very simplistic. It's probably only 10% of the job. And it's also why I say that to date, there are no simulators that simulate firing properly to the extent that a fireman would understand that this is what they're doing.
I don't know a lot about video games, so this could be a completely incorrect statement, but to me it seems like I don't think you could simulate steam physics like in a video game. Like if you made a purpose-built simulator like that little physical thing you've got to demonstrate the steam piston, if they made that in like an AutoCAD simulation thing, maybe. But like I don't think you could do it in a video game.
I think you could make a video game do it properly.
Yeah.
Be a lot of work, but you could do it because there are real simulators for real railways.
Okay.
And there are real steam simulators as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
that makes sense. How else do they train drivers if not on a simulator?
Yeah. The main question that you would have to wonder is who's going to want to spend 18 months to learn how to play a game?
Yeah.
And be failing at it and needing to be bailed out by someone.
Well, it would probably be even more niche than like a niche game like Train Sim World. I wonder.
Yeah. So sort of as an example with firing, it's a 16-week theory course. And throughout your theory course, you're also doing practical runs.
Okay.
And you are either observing or you're firing.
What?
And towards the end of those, as you approach your assessment, you'll be just firing.
Okay.
The other person will stand outside and
dumb question, I apologize. What do you learn in like steam fireman school, for lack of a better word? Is it
how not to die?
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Is it really that dangerous?
Yes.
Okay.
Very much so.
I know nothing about steam, like at all, less than nothing.
Yeah. It is relatively hard to actually blow up a steam boiler because there's a lot of cues that will get in your way and let you know that something bad's happening. But if one actually did let go, it would kill everybody within a few hundred meters of it.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. It's a high pressure vessel, of course.
Yeah. I don't know if you follow steam traction engines, for example, but the most recent explosion was in it was a state fair, I think, in Medina, Ohio, in America. And that was a 75 horsepower Case traction engine. And that had a boiler rupture and the thing flew up in the air.
Damn.
And the only reason it didn't kill more people is because it flew up in the air.
Damn. Okay, then that I didn't realize it was that.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, I suppose it makes sense. You're dealing with like literally a fire and steam and high pressure, like.
The high pressure is the main bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing that's really different between high pressure air and high pressure steam is that when you release steam or you release hot water that's at the temperature that it can make steam, it will instantly become steam.
Okay.
So if you've got, say, 7,000 litres of water at 412 degrees Celsius, which is roughly where it is in a steam engine, and the boiler ruptures,
That's all.
all of that water, it's not that it's coming out of a big crack in the boiler, all of that water instantly turns to steam and destroys the thing.
Yeah, wow.
So you've probably seen photos where you can see the smoke box and what's left of the cab.
I've seen a picture.
And between it, there's just stuff that looks like spaghetti.
I was just about to say, I've seen a picture of a steam train and literally like you see the driving cab and then you just see like spaghetti tubes out the front end of it. And I was never sure if that was an AI thing or if that was a...
that's real.
That's okay. So that's what it does. Damn.
Yeah.
It
and
looks violent.
Yeah. Those tubes, usually they're fire tubes because they carry fire through the water.
Okay.
Or hot gases anyway. It's not necessarily flames. It's probably not flames by the time it gets that far. And there can be tubes that have got steam in there as well. So that's a superheater.
Okay.
So in those engines, the steam comes out of the steam dome, runs into another system called the superheater, and the superheater has pipes through those first kind of flues.
Okay.
And that makes the water hotter and drier, or the steam hotter and drier. This will sound weird, but most of what you see coming out of a steam engine is not actually steam. So all those big white puffs, the same as we would see in the sky if there were any clouds. So pointing up, there's no clouds at all, of course. They were 2 minutes ago.
Is that not steam chuffs coming out of the...
It's water vapor. So the steam is turning back into water, basically.
That boggles my mind.
I can tell.
Why. That's boggled me.
Yeah, you can't actually see steam. If you had a pinhole leak of steam on a pipe and you put your fingers through it, it'll cut them off.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I suppose it maybe kind of makes sense.
Yeah, you can only see it when it's water, because otherwise it's a gas.
Yeah, and like it would come into like a colder environment, which would like essentially maybe like recondense it back into water.
Exactly. Yep, that's it exactly.
You think about it for more than a moment and it makes sense, but when you first hear it, it boggles your mind. What do you mean a steam train doesn't puff out steam? What? What?
Well, it does, but by the time you can see it, it's turned back into water vapor.
Yeah. No, that does make sense.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the stuff coming out of your kettle's water vapor too, because it's not under pressure. So
I've
it's not
never
steam.
actually thought about that.
Yep.
But no, that actually does make sense. The amount of times I boil my kettle to consume coffees and I've never even thought of it in that way.
There you go.
Hmm.
It's basically the same as what I do with coal. The difference is mine's a pressure vessel.
Yes.
Kettle's not.
No, and I suspect coal's probably going to make a much hotter cup of coffee than a kettle would.
Yeah, a little. I mean, we do actually make coffee and tea and food on the locos sometimes.
I've seen in some steam trains they've got the little there's like a little plate just above where the fire door is,
It's
and they've
called
got
the
like a little kettle or like a camping mug just sat there.
Yep. And you might know in the kitchen that thing's called a hob. So it is a stove of sorts. And that's the history behind why there are stoves in diesel locomotives. It's usually an electric stove in a diesel loco. You don't see them much in electric.
No,
in
but
commuter pace stuff.
back in those days when they were switching from like steam to like...
Well, even now.
Oh, really? Even now?
Yeah, even now. Diesel locos come with a stove. And that's because the crews are used to having it, and they had it when they had steam engines.
Okay.
And that propagated into diesels, and when the first diesels came out, they didn't have them.
Well, I mean, I've never been in a diesel locomotive outside of Train Sim World, so I don't. Well, there's a lot I don't know, but I wouldn't have thought. I mean, I always kind of guessed that when they're running like interstate, like the train that goes over to Perth with the containers, I always figured they had like a crew cabin that had like kettles and stoves and all of that kind of stuff. But
normally on those really long haul ones where they can't change shift because they're in the middle of nowhere, and anybody who knows Australia knows it is literally the middle of nowhere. There is nothing.
Nowhere, no.
As there was a radio commentator once said, and I'm going to swear here, he just went, "It's sand, 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 and fucking sand."
Yeah, basically. I mean, I'm very lucky in that our family has travelled over the Nullarbor 3 times. I've not done it once. I've flown every single time. I've flown between Melbourne and Perth.
I've done it twice in a car.
Yeah, no, they drove.
That's in 120Y in summer, no air conditioning.
Oh no! Oh no! See, they drove. It was an EA Falcon wagon, so it was a little bit more comfortable and spacious, but damn,
and maybe not as hot.
no, no. Datsun though, man, that's a brand I haven't heard of for ages.
Yeah, no, they're still around. They're called Nissans now. Well, actually, always were called Nissans. It was here they were called Datsuns.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember as a kid, there was a Datsun. One of our neighbors had one, and you used to be able to get the thing off the side of a canned beef tin and open up the door with that, and even start the ignition lock on it. It was pretty funny. But thankfully, us kids weren't criminally minded, or our neighbor would have had -1 car.
Well, if you had an EH Holden and anything around that vintage, they had a key lock that was sort of a barrel, but there was a vertical slot, so there's a place for the key, and then there was 2 tabs, so you didn't break your key off.
I've seen those.
If you turned those till they stopped and then whacked your hand, you could just push them past that.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, man.
Yep. And those cars also have, some modern cars still have these. They have a block underneath where the starter motor's wired to near the battery. And a lot of people refer to it as the steal me block because you can just short out 2 contacts on the thing and start the car and drive away.
Oh my days. No, tennis. Nice.
Yep. I don't know if the viewers will be able to hear the tennis.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's such a boring sport. Sorry for the random tangent, but of all the sports, golf and tennis have got to be the most boring. People say cricket, but clearly they've never watched a good test series or T20.
Yeah.
T20's pretty good.
I played golf in high school, but only because one of my mates lived next door to the golf course, and we'd pay the front 9 until the teachers couldn't see us anymore. Then we'd climb over the fence and go piss around in his pool for the rest of the afternoon, and then come back and play the last hole about the right time.
I've never been good at sports. We had cricket as one of our sport electives, but I always went as a fielder because I could literally just stand out in the middle of the field and do nothing. I'm not very hand-eye coordinated, but that's another thing Train Sim World's actually been helping me out with a lot is the old doing multiple things, trying to keep multiple things on the go.
Yep. Yeah, you probably found driving in the simulator that things do happen all at once.
Yes.
So you might be braking, coming down a hill, you notice there's a signal.
Don't even begin to talk to me about Christmas tree signal. CIFA wants to say hello. PZB wants to say hello all at the same time.
Yep.
Oh my days, that's good fun. And then you've got to get the order of precedence. Acknowledge CIFA first, acknowledge PZB, get the brakes on, get down so you don't get your Zwombrein song. Oh, no. It's,
I'm tipping a real driver is using one hand to put the brakes on and the other hand to acknowledge PZB.
I suspect that they've probably got, like, I've seen a few cab videos of the DBBR 101, and the quickness that they acknowledge PZB, it feels to me like they've all got a hand just permanently sat by the little flicky switches. So as soon as I see it, it's like flick, flick, flick.
Yep.
I've thought about getting a...
well, that and they know the route too, so they know when it's coming.
Yeah. I'm sure route knowledge helps a great deal. I love the track monitor in Train Sim World, to be fair. Random tangent. I wish they'd put neutral sections on that. That would be so handy. So handy. But
it would.
I've thought about getting a set of those helicopter pedals, whatever you call them, because they're basically just USB. And I'm pretty sure you could use one of them as a CIFA foot pedal.
Yeah, you could.
But
you just use some of the macro software and map it to a key.
Being on the PlayStation, unfortunately, means if it doesn't do the thing when I plug it in, I can't do the thing. Yeah. I don't have any...
Well, here's an interesting thing for you about CIFA and deadman pedals in general, because most of them you acknowledge the vigilance with a deadman pedal. It's not usually a button. Some diesels it is, but not usually. You actually keep your foot on that pedal all the time, and when you want to acknowledge, you lift your foot and put it back down again.
Okay.
Yeah. And most of the time, if you watch video of German locomotives, you will never see the CIFA light come on or hear the word CIFA. You'll see every now and again you will, but generally not, because what they're doing is about every 20 seconds they go tuk tuk.
Okay, see, this is something that's always I've been curious about, because in the UK trains you can preemptively hit circle or Q or your flavor of button on your controller to preempt the DSD. I've never been able to get that to work on the German trains. You can smack circle to your heart's content, but you will still get a CIFA.
that's because in the consoles on the controllers, whether it's circle for PlayStation or B for Xbox, it's queuing it for an event, but there's no event, so it just chucks it away.
Oh.
If you press Q on a keyboard, I think it will actually do what you're trying to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to try that. I do have a keyboard because one thing that I recommend all console players really is a keyboard, even just a $5 keyboard.
Yeah.
It's so handy.
And I think the modern Xbox, so the S and the X, and I'm not sure about PS4, but PS5, they all support Bluetooth keyboards.
They do.
So if you want to sit on your couch, you can.
The Xbox Series S, Series X, and the Xbox One X, as well as the PlayStation 4 and 5 support Bluetooth keyboards. The Xboxes support mouse as well. So you can actually play Train Sim World on an Xbox full keyboard mouse.
Yeah.
Which is
I do.
fun, but annoying. Because it's another thing Sony can't do. Play has no limits.
Yep. Except this one, and this
And
one,
that
and this
one,
one,
and
and
that
that one.
one. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure there was a DLC.
Not that I'm making fun of the PlayStation, for the simple reason is the PlayStation's graphics are better than the Xbox. So,
Yes,
you know, you win one thing, you lose another one. It's just how it
It
is.
swings and roundabouts because, like, I have a for lack of a better word, I have a mate that I've made through the Train Sim World community. They're an Xbox player and they get practically no sales, and I get heaps of sales on the Sony. And then it's one of those things where every time I mention how awesome the PlayStation sale is, he's like, "Oh, how about that mouse support? How Melbourne Train go?" I'm like, "You shut up, you."
Well, you know, that's interesting because Xbox actually gets twice as many sales as PlayStation does.
Do they really?
They do.
I think the problem is
He hasn't got notified turned on. That's his problem.
I tell everybody who will listen, put every single Train Sim World DLC in your basket, because then when it goes on sale, you get alerted. Even
Yeah.
if you don't want to buy it, you
Yeah, you
still
can
get
just
alerted.
wishlist it.
Exactly, you wishlist it.
Yep.
And
And that goes for all the stores.
yeah.
I think the only store that gets majorly gypped is Epic. I'll call it Eric.
poor
Eric the Huffer store. There you go. Perfect.
I feel bad for Epic Games Store,
Yes.
but
If you're thinking about getting into Train Sim World, don't get into it on Epic.
no. If you are on a PC, Steam is really the
Or the Xbox store. Xbox store's fine.
Xbox Store. I do
Yep.
forget about that.
Yeah. In fact, if you own Train Sim World 6 for Xbox, you can actually play it on PC.
Really?
Yep.
Does it give you the console version, or do you get like all the PC?
It's the console version, but things like mods and controllers and everything still work.
Oh, okay. I was more aiming at can you get the full graphics customizing like you do on PC, but mod support and that would be
You can put mods in it because it lets you change the DLC folder where
okay.
the pack files go.
Right.
Don't think you can change the Unreal INI files though.
Not the INI file. When you go on the pause menu and settings on the console, there's no like
it's limited.
graphics. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we have HD and 4K, but those aren't really.
Yeah.
It's not clear.
And they don't mean much anyway.
No, like.
And I have to wonder actually, does the Xbox PC version have that? I'll have to have a look.
That would be interesting because if you can play on the PC via Xbox games for PC,
yep,
that's a pretty good advantage for Xbox players.
I think I just saw a girl take her OnlyFans photo. The one who's lying on her back behind you, she got them out for a moment and took a picture.
Oh, really? OnlyFans, man. What is wrong with society these days? I've made a joke. I'm not the first one to make it, I'm sure. But the joke goes that you should start an OnlyFans page, but literally just post pictures of fans. Just like a pedestal fan, ceiling fan, Dyson bladeless fan.
I'm sure that's been done.
I'm sure it has been done. Only feet, I'm sure, has been done too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes. Well, there are people that pay for feet. I actually photograph a girl who does that.
My favoritist saying in the world is "You never yuck someone's yum."
Mm. Yep. Yes. So outside of gaming, YouTube, Real Railway, work, I am also a photographer.
You've got many hats.
I don't shoot models very much anymore, but I used to do it quite a lot. I've actually got one coming up. 3 weeks' time? Yeah, 3 weeks' time, February.
Many hats.
Shooting a girl. But
with a camera, just to be clear.
Yeah, definitely. Shooting them with anything else is generally not appropriate.
No.
From any way, shape or form. But no, there was one girl that I used to do shots for. She has got an OnlyFans, and I know she has graduated to the, let's call it the steamier side of things. But when I was shooting her, it was feet and ankles, and she would do one shot out of each series where you could see up the legs and see underpants, and that was it. And she used to get paid a fortune for that.
It's one of those things where, like, you really can't hate the player. Like, if there's people out there that are going to pay money for that, and you can make the money for that, and like, it's like, you don't feel like, if you feel comfortable doing it, each to their own.
Yeah, it is really no different to what we do with YouTube, except we don't get our boobs out.
No. Well, I mean, we could, but YouTube might have something to say about that. I don't think they'd like it very much.
No,
but essentially, it's
well, actually, there are channels like that. They just, you have to go hunting for them. They do exist.
I know that there's a dark side of YouTube. You only need to look for it. I don't bother to look for it, but it's much like, well, the internet in general, really.
Yep. Yes.
Much like everything.
If you want to know just how interesting YouTube is, go to YouTube without signing in.
Oh.
Do it in incognito or private mode or whatever your browser supports.
Incognito mode, that's...
So that they don't get your cookies. Because when they don't know who you are, they have no idea what to show you.
They give you...
And that's when the weirdest shit turns up.
You get the completely... the algorithm just doesn't know what the heck to do, so you get all of the wild stuff.
Yep.
No, I don't actually watch a lot of YouTube outside of really just like other people in the train sim world space and like random documentaries. I don't watch TV to be entertained. I watch TV for background noise. I'm just not a fan of like TV crap, pardon my language.
I do from time to time binge dumb people getting pulled over by cops from cop body cam.
I used to watch a show called Can't Pay, Will Take It Away, which is a bailiff show. Those kinds of shows are funny. Oh man.
Yep. And you see how dumb people can actually be. Yes.
Yeah. I think I won't need to say the words, but you'll probably get what I mean when I say this. Everything on TV nowadays is of a certain type. It's trying to get you upset over something on one side or the other side, and I don't have the energy. I can't be bothered.
Plenty of that on YouTube.
Yeah. There's plenty of.
Yes, I did make a video. I mean, you probably know which one I'm talking about already, where I fought back against some false and very unfair accusations that was made by a particular YouTuber against what is essentially about 30 people. So it's a very small group.
Yeah, that particular situation was kind of funny because the person in question very delicately danced around and used some very creative language to insinuate that they didn't say what they had recorded themselves and uploaded themselves to YouTube saying. But
exactly. Yep.
Politics.
And their very loyal fan base.
Unfortunately.
Just believed them, really.
This, I think...
And went on the attack.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I've got a thick skin. They can attack me all they want. Because, they give me a comment, they can expect a reply.
Well, this is something that I really just wish... I know it's very idyllic. It's very wishful thinking, but I just wish it didn't exist. Most of the train sim world community is solid. Very nice people, very welcoming people.
That's the railway community. It's the same. Most people are really nice.
And train sim world, it's one of those things where it's not a perfect game. There's things that do need to be...
There's some really shitty things with the game. There really is. There's no point saying that there isn't. There is.
No, but I've never understood why people get so, for lack of a better word, political about a video game.
Because it makes them money.
Yeah.
They get clicks. They get attention.
Or
That's what they crave.
Yeah, but is it worth it? Is it worth the mental health?
No, it's not.
The stress? Is it worth?
It's definitely not. So another YouTuber, this one I'll name. So he used to be called Trains from Taranga.
Train Spotter from Tauranga.
Yeah, that one. He uses a different name these days, DC 4260, I think. Yeah.
I like DC.
He's a nice guy. And I chatted with him because he was really going off the deep end for a while. And you'd probably notice in his recent stuff, he quite happily comments on things, quite happily says things, but he's not really emotional about it anymore. And he's now in a better headspace. That's a good thing for him, because just thinking of content creators, especially small content creators, and especially trained content creators, you're in a niche, in a niche, in a niche, and getting views is hard. Getting views by being controversial is easy, but it comes at a cost, and it hurts this thing long term.
Yeah.
There are people who can completely divorce themselves from it. And I think our other friend that we were talking about is one of those people. It doesn't affect him in the slightest because he doesn't actually care about the game at all.
No,
He's not embedded in it in the slightest.
no.
And
I think that's why I kind of like DC more than some of the other people.
yeah, because he's honest about it. And he does good stuff. He'll sit down when you see him saying, yeah, I'm doing a review. I think the 313 he did one recently, the Centro thing.
Yes,
No,
yeah.
323.
The
Centro
Central
323.
region. Yep.
Yeah, so before he recorded that video, it's really obvious he's gone and done some research. And I don't know if he's ever been to the UK and ridden on a 323. I have. So I've got that element of experience with it. But you can tell that he's gone and done some research. He's actually figured out how it's supposed to work. What is it supposed to sound like? What is it supposed to look like?
You can tell that.
And then he's worded it all that way, which is perfect.
I think you can tell with DC, he is a train fan. He enjoys trains. He likes the game. He's part. I consider him part of the community.
Yeah.
Some of the other channels who do train sim content, I don't consider them part of the community because I don't think they engage authentically with Train Sim World. I think they engage with Train Sim World through the lens of, for lack of a better word, clickbait and rage bait.
Yeah. Well, interestingly, in his response video to me, that guy actually said there were a few words of truth. And one of the things that I picked out of it right near the end of it that I don't think many people noticed, he says, I'm a full-time content creator. I chase the algorithm. And what he's basically saying by that, in my interpretation, is that this is nothing to me personally. I just don't care. This is about making money.
I probably, this is going to sound very judgmental because there's a difference, I think, in trying to keep ahead of the algorithm for, keeping yourself visible and getting your views and stuff. But then there's trying to figure out the algorithm and then trying to game the algorithm.
Yeah. And that's what I interpret he games the algorithm.
Well, see, for me personally, I noticed once I started noticing that this YouTuber would make their videos public with a certain thumbnail that had a very clickbaity title. And then 12 hours later, once that first wave of views has come, it's a different thumbnail with a less clickbaity title.
Yep.
But that initial wave of views has already been.
Yeah, that is a fairly common practice.
The
other things that work is the classic YouTube face.
I don't mind. I don't mind the YouTuber
face.
I don't mind the YouTuber face, but if you're coming across as disingenuous, I don't really want to engage with your content.
Yeah.
And at least with DC, like you can tell he's spent the money, he's spent the time playing the content. He's looked into it to see if his opinion is correct or incorrect, if the thing he thinks is a problem is correct or incorrect. I think he does have his issues that he kind of sticks on, quote unquote, linear routes.
Don't we all?
But no, we do. I mean, I've been there. I was so close to having a crash out myself. Playing Train Sim World on the PlayStation 4 was difficult. It was such a difficult task. And
it's why the game should leave it behind. Like the platform just does not have the resources to run the game at the levels that people want it to.
I feel of two minds because I was an 8th gen. I've only been on PS5 for 7 months. I was on the PS4 since Train Sim World 3.
Yep.
So I've got more time on that than I do on 9th gen. But like, you really are getting such a reduced experience, and it does have to be handicapped and hobbled so much so that your console doesn't melt and literally just die. Like you load Train Sim World on a PS4 and I swear you can hear it call V1 rotate. Like it's ready to just take off. But that's I think honestly, one of the things that really made me appreciate Train Sim World's community was when I was on the PS4 and I was having difficulties getting stuff to work. There were a few Muppets, oh, upgrade your console, but for the most part, people were like, well, you do need to upgrade your console, but let's see what we can do to help it work for you now.
For the record, it's water.
But no, I was very close to a crash out myself. I put too much value on, how do you word it? Can't think of the words. I think I cared too much, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah, no, that does.
it's a video game, but like a $45 Blackpool Branches DLC crashing when you try to go into Preston, it's not going to like destroy your life. It's not going to like increase the price of milk, but
But
I
it
think
pisses you off.
it does.
Yeah,
And
of
there
course it
was,
does.
I think there was a moment there where it could have gone very easily into me becoming one of those, I hate Train Sim World, I hate Dovetail, what a bunch of Muppets. I could have easily become one of those drama tubers. It's just not worth it.
No.
It's just not worth it.
I'm glad you didn't, to be honest.
I don't think I would have survived very long. I've already deleted one YouTube channel because, well, if I'm pretty sure I've already said this on one of my streams, but I do struggle with mental health. I won't go into it, but I have a habit of making decisions before I've had time to think through if that's actually what I want to do. The content creation, making train sim stuff on the PlayStation, it's difficult, but it's so rewarding. It might not make sense to people who play on PC because I suspect it's very easy to just record, edit, put things together and upload them to YouTube. But
It is, but it's also easy to get in too deep. So I run my whole gamut of stuff with the exception of some filters I use for sound. It's all open source. So I
Okay.
use OBS. I use Kden Live. A lot of people use DaVinci Resolve, the free version, because DaVinci is pretty cool. When, let's say, version 11 comes out, they make version 10 free.
Okay.
So you get the full power commercial experience, but it's free and there's zero support. And people start out with something like CapCut.
Yep, that's what I use, CapCut, because it's free and it's on my phone. Like I can edit.
Yep. People start out with things like that, and depending on what you want to do, you might stay there. There's nothing wrong with that sort of thing. Maybe you've got a subscription that gives you access to the Apple software. Maybe you've got a subscription that gives you access to the Adobe software, like Premiere Pro. That thing is so easy to make videos with. And then you if you want to stick in the open source world, so I've got Adobe's photography subscription, but that doesn't give me Premiere Pro. It did for a little while, but then I took it away. And I have that because I do photography and I do professional photography, so I have to have the right tools. People have expectations. If you shoot an event, you've got to process it in the right tools and give them stuff in the right way.
Yeah.
But I don't have that ability with video, so I use the open source.
So I think
And if you get into something like Kden, there is no support whatsoever. There's a good community. There's a lot of good people who make videos about it, how to use it, but the learning curve's like massive.
I think I'm pretty lucky in that when I started playing, or rather when I started uploading my Train Sim World content to YouTube, I came across another YouTuber by the name of Rex Tactics.
Yeah, I know
who
Rex. Good
was
guy.
also on a PS4 when I was on a PS4, which was very handy. We actually had many Discord voice calls trying to figure out how to get Blackpool Branches to work, but he showed me the glorious software of what's it called? Share Factory Studio. It's like a built-in thing on the Sony, and you can do quite a lot. It'll let you upscale to 2K. It'll let you do transitions, and you can add in like different elements and stuff like that. It's a bit of a shame that we are restricted on the Sony to 60 minutes maximum. If you want to do something longer, you've got to kind of stream to Twitch and then download it, or you've got to...
Which means you lose resolution and
You
quality at
do.
every step.
Yep. I've never understood why, but if you export from Twitch directly to YouTube, it comes out on YouTube looking like potato. And if you
Yep.
download it and then upload it that way, it comes out a little bit better, but it's almost like YouTube knows it's come from Twitch and they purposefully hobble it because it,
If you re-encode it on the way, you'll be okay. But it's a lot of processing time to do that. But it can be quite difficult. And the 60 minutes, I think, is history, by the way. Well, we've got some people having a race next to us. It's a grandma and a little 3-year-old. And
yeah, Birdie,
aren't you noisy?
I'm bigger than you. I'm higher on the food chain.
Yeah, thinks we've got food. And like most things in Australia, it probably wants to kill us. It just doesn't have the ability. But anyway.
You look enough like a magpie that I think you're trying to...
It's not a magpie, though. I'm not sure what it is.
No,
it's not a magpie.
It's one of those ones that like imitates like bigger birds.
Yeah, it could be.
Because it's just missing the white patch off the back of its cute birdie. No?
Maybe it's a Collingwood supporter. It's black and white.
Well, if you're a Collingwood supporter, you can go there somewhere. Go the Bulldogs. I don't actually follow AFL. I have a team, but that's because if you're an Australian, you have to have a team.
This is true.
But I don't.
It's mandatory.
I'm a bad Aussie. I don't care
You'll get
about
kicked
AFL.
out if you don't.
I cannot. I don't understand the damn sport, really.
Yeah. But on the 60-minute thing, ages and ages ago, there was a export and excise rule, which was, I think it was more or less global, that if your camera could shoot video or create video for more than 60 minutes, it had to be licensed as a video camera.
Oh.
And you've probably heard of TV licensing in the
Yeah.
UK. That did actually happen. It existed a lot of places around the world, but it was video licensing.
Okay.
So video cameras cost more. So if you bought something like a Betacam or whatever, and that would cost more than a normal camera that was making video because it was
Right.
licensed.
Okay.
So I think that 60 minutes actually came from that.
And it's just been a relic. It's just like a holdover from that time.
Yeah. And I think Sony don't, if there's any countries in the world that still have that kind of licensing, I know Australia doesn't, but it may be that Sony still hold that.
Yeah, just easier to do it across the board than to do a case-by-case software in different countries kind of thing.
Yep.
It's a pain in the butt because most of Train Sim World's decent services run for over an hour. I've struggled to find a Riviera service. Most of them are pretty solidly over an hour.
Yeah, you'd have to record in 2 halves and then chop it up and do weird things.
Isn't actually difficult. If you find a service that has a roughly in the middle stop, you can quickly do like a pause, stop recording, restart recording. But
can you download the files from the PlayStation?
You can. So you can export. In fact, I'm cheeky because what I do is I sometimes will record to the Sony, export it to a USB stick onto my phone into CapCut or Canva to like do shit to it and then put it back on the Sony. You can't, it does really weird things where it has to be in a specific format and you can't have transitions on a video when you import it. It gives you like a weird error, unsupported format or unsupported something or other.
It's probably using a codec that it doesn't understand.
It's not as bad as the Xbox, which can't even stream to YouTube directly.
Yep.
Which I believe is a holdover from when Sony had some kind of exclusive deal with YouTube. I think the Xbox at one point in time didn't even have a YouTube app.
Yeah, you couldn't even watch YouTube videos.
Which is dumb.
But Google fixed that. They produced the Xbox YouTube app.
Gotta love
so they
the
fixed
Google.
it themselves.
No, it's interesting, essentially, because Sony and Xbox are the same console, but I mean, they're not, but they are, if you get what I mean.
They are pretty close. The processor's really close. The graphics card's really close. The memory's really close. It's like they talk about it together and decide what they're going to release.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure, don't they custom order their processing chips from like AMD or something, so AMD probably goes, right, well, like, we've got this all-in-one processing unit, 3.1 gigahertz, there you go, Sony, 3.2 gigahertz, there you go, Xbox, or like 3.12 or 3.2.
Yeah.
Like, there's probably this
Or they
smallest little
contact them and go, what did Sony buy? 3.1. Oh, better give us the next one then, mate.
something like that. Yeah. Although the console wars are finally over. Xbox games are on Sony. Flight Simulators on Sony. Sony games are on Xbox. Not that it matters. Pretty soon we'll have the new generation of PlayStation 6.
Yes. And the Steam machine.
Oh, that's interesting actually, because well, I mean, it's difficult for Train Sim World players to move from console to PC because you'd have to repurchase all of your DLC.
Except if you're an Xbox.
Except if you're on Xbox, you lucky
That
bastards.
is relatively recent. I'm not sure when that started.
Which is really cool.
I don't think it started in 6. I'm pretty sure it started in 5 that you could play the stuff on PC.
But that would be not through Steam, though. That'd be through the
Microsoft Xbox Store application. You've got to install the Xbox Store app, and then you can do it.
Okay. I think
because it knows what you already own.
That Steam machine though is it's looking
owned.
Yeah.
What you license.
I can remember many times uninstalling or refunding something, but if I turned my Xbox offline quick enough, I could still play the thing, even though I didn't technically own the thing anymore, because there was like a delay in the
for about 30 days.
The entitlements lining up. But that Steam machine, it's going to be curious to see what that kind of shakes out pricing wise.
If it comes out, looking at its specs, I reckon it'll be somewhere between $1,200 and $1,500 so it can compete with a PC. Because a PC of those specs, if you are buying it retail, not building your own, is going to be somewhere between $1,200 and $1,500.
In all seriousness, though, that's not too much more expensive than, like, I think a PlayStation 6 when it came out was like $800, $900. I know the Xbox Series X was always bloody expensive. It's not as cheap as a console, but it's close enough in price that it could be a legitimate option for someone if they're moving from current Xbox to new Xbox or current PS to new PS.
Hello, dog.
Nice.
Yeah. I got my Xbox X for $500.
Lucky.
Because I walked into one of the larger wholesale/retail stores without giving them a plug. And I pulled one off the rack, and they had them on special, I think for $6.99, which was about $100 off. And this one, the corner of the box was all caved in. And I just went to them and said, can I get a discount? Because the box is wrecked. And they went, well, you could get one off the pile. And I go, yeah, but I want this one. I want the one, the wrecked box.
I don't want the new one. I want the one you can discount.
Yeah. And they gave it to me for $500.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I used to work some...
No, it's motorbikes versus a tram. That's not going to end well.
No. No. A little pet peeve of mine is people being idiots around trams. Trams can't move.
Yeah.
They're basically elephants stuck on, like, what are they going to do? They can't.
Yeah. That dog so wants to run.
Take it off the lead. Let it run. I didn't see a sign saying you have to keep your dogs on the lead in this park.
You probably do.
Yeah.
It being a city park, you have to be civil here. Yeah. It's not like Frankston. We just, let your bull mastiff go and maul someone's kid. No one really cares.
Oh, man, we had a... Frankston reminds me a lot of Armidale, to be fair. Not Melbourne Armidale, sorry.
Sydney Armidale. Yeah, I've been there.
WA Armidale.
Oh, WA Armidale, even better.
Armidale, Kelmscott, Gosnells was kind of my stomping grounds back in WA. I am not a believer in good suburb, bad suburb. I'm a believer in every suburb has good and bad. Every place has the good and the bad, depending on how hard you're willing to look for it. But
you'll find it.
Yeah. It was...
The ones with money, they're better at hiding it.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's an affluent suburb, like, they've got the money to, like, keep their crime indoors. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Or keep it out of public view anyway.
Yeah. I mean...
Or give them money and send them off interstate.
Yeah.
Do you notice where most of the Western Australians came from?
Really?
Yeah, in the 70s.
That's hilarious.
Victoria gave a lot of long-term dole families a caravan and 20 grand on the condition that they went to Western Australia.
I would have taken that deal.
Yeah.
That's dope. I mean, especially 20 grand back in the 70s. That's what, 50,
a lot of
60?
money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
Yeah, 20 grand then, the house buying power, that was a house, basically. And 20 grand now.
Nothing.
It's not even a fart next to the deposit of a house.
No.
Especially not a Richie rail fart, because they envelop the world.
I've heard tell.
He's going to keep wearing it for that fart forever. This is going to be my ongoing joke for the rest of eternity. Richie Rails farts.
You'll have to. He'll probably get you back the next time you go for the ambassador event.
I know he will.
He's gonna try to get you in some kind of. Wait till you're both on a train carriage or in one of the offices at Chatham Towers there.
Well, the next time we'll be together is actually before any potential event at Dovetail, because they haven't announced one yet. So we don't know if there's one or not, but I'm going anyway. And Richie and his missus and mine and myself are going on a double date to a place called the Shambles in York.
Nice.
But it's outdoors, so
nice. Is that kind of like a Weatherspoonsy kind of thing?
Yeah. There's something I love. Yeah, go and pick up your crap. Go on, go pick up your crap. No. So I'm not going to compartmentalize those individuals into a particular race or religion or anything. But those particular ones, when their crap blows away, they just let it blow away. They don't care. And then they could get up, walk 5 meters and go and get that bag. And I've seen plenty of other people in the park go and pick up their stuff, but not
I
them.
will not comment because I have very, very strange feelings on etiquette. Like, I don't like when people cross the road without pressing the button and waiting for the green light. I don't like when people don't put their rubbish in a bin.
Yeah.
Like, if there's a very simple rule and people don't follow it, it grinds my gears.
And well, there's reasons. This park's beautiful.
It is.
And the only reason it stays this way is because people put their shit in the bin. It's a simple life. I mean, there's a bin right there.
This is going to sound like a really, really like old fart comment, but there used to be a time when the average citizen kind of took a bit of personal responsibility for
the world.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Whereas nowadays,
not so much.
No, I think the general vibe nowadays is it's someone else's problem.
Yep.
And if everyone thinks it's someone else's problem, then it's no one's problem and no one does anything about it.
Yep. Yeah. And then the world gets full of rubbish.
Yep.
Yep.
Which it's pretty much getting there now.
And you know what's funny? I think the boy heard us because he's gone to pick up the bag.
Good. Good. Oh man.
Oh, and he's telling her off. Excellent.
We've got a whole day, don't we? Still, I'm pretty sure Clean Up Australia Day is like still a thing.
Yeah, it
used to be March. When I was in primary school. We used to go down to. They used to take all our classes down, and we used to clean up random ovals and reserves and all sorts.
Yep. Yeah, it still happens. Yeah. That's in March.
Nice.
But it's it's just an interesting world.
It really is. It really is.
Right.
It's
I actually got in trouble on the railway that I work on once because a lady had changed her child in the train, in the platform, and hurled the nappy out of the train onto the platform. And I picked it up and dropped it in her lap and said, "I think you dropped this." And she complained.
Oh, man.
And to be honest, I'd do it again.
Yeah, no, I'm going to keep that thought inside. That's an inside your head thought. That's not an outside thought. Never mind.
Yeah, that's my trouble. Is my inside thoughts are usually published on my forehead on a little LCD.
No, when I can catch myself, it's good. Australians can be casually racist.
Yep,
and,
we are.
We are very politically incorrect.
We are
very politically incorrect, and no.
Yes. Oh, well. We copy the pommies that we're made from quite well. Yeah.
We do. Plus, I think it's just the culture in Australia. It's such a laid-back country compared to the rest of the world. Just in general, I feel like Australians have the ability to not take things as seriously. Like, taking the piss is taking the piss. Whereas most other countries, like, you have to be serious.
Yep.
And if you're not being serious, you're being serious in your I can't word it right, but like, there's no such thing as just having a laugh. It's, even just having a laugh is somehow like a coded, you're having a dig at me. Like, no, I'm just having a laugh, man. Like, come on now.
It's like that other thing. If you call someone mate, they're probably not your mate. And if you call them see you next Tuesday,
Well,
They
this
probably
is
are.
this is one of the funniest jokes about Australians in general. Is we are one of the few places in the world where we call our mates in the Northern Territory, and we call people we hate mate.
Yeah.
And it was quite funny remarking that on stream, and almost immediately one of the people in the stream was like, "Oh, hey Josh, I'll catch you later, mate." It's like, "Oh, he said the thing."
Yeah. He calls me mate.
I think it was Math actually. Like, chill, Math, chill.
Yeah.
I get myself in a bit of trouble in the Discord sometimes because I don't think people have quite cottoned on to my sarcasticness yet.
It's an Aussie thing.
It is. Mega Sims picked up on it, but I'll say some really cheeky shit.
Mm.
And
Aussies do that.
people will think I'm either actually upset or being serious. It's like, no, I'm just having a laugh, man.
Yep.
Being a cheeky person, like, it's what we do. When we don't know what to do, we default to cheekiness and humor.
Yeah. Well, it's better than getting angry.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, well, it's all fun.
it is.
So in your journey as a content creator, you're getting there. I think you're approaching monetization now, I think.
I'm at 325 subscribers.
Yeah. So your first hurdle's 500.
500.
Where you can start to do some of the things on the path.
I'm pretty certain I've already hit all of the milestones I need to accept the subscriber milestone.
Yep,
I'm
like
pretty
watch
sure I've
hours.
got the watch hours. I'm pretty sure I've got the things.
And you know what that says? That says that you're making content that people want to watch. Because watch hours is the hardest one to get.
I think my problem, in all seriousness, is that I just lack confidence. I don't feel like the job I do is good,
Well, it's not a problem.
and I feel like I don't have an aim. Like, I feel like my channel's aimless. Not saying that it is, that's just how I feel about it.
It doesn't come across that way.
No, well, I mean, the
But
fact that
if you want to give it some focus, what you can do is start writing out a schedule. So start with a list of things that you want to do, things that you think will make good content. Work out a very rough schedule. Do not put dates on it because that'll bug your head. Because you'll start thinking, oh, I've got to sit down. I've got to spend a day making this because I'm putting it out tomorrow. Don't do that.
Can I just say, on the topic of schedules, I only recently did a stream. It doesn't exist anymore, but just to emphasize the point of if you force yourself by putting a hard date or by this, it needs to be done, you have a bad time.
Yep.
Because you don't, at that point, you're not doing it because you want to. You're doing it because you have to.
Yeah.
And that's...
Which is an interesting thing when it comes to an ambassador. Because when the content comes out on Tuesday, do you want to know when we get it? If we're lucky, we get it on Friday.
See, I always thought that the ambassadors had a good, like, 2 weeks of time to not play with the content, but play with the content, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, if you look at Train Sim World 6, we were good. We got that nearly 10 days before.
10 days?
Yeah. But the version that we were allowed to record with was about 4 days before.
Oh.
So we got a chance to look at it, mess around with it, prod it, poke it, but we couldn't record with it because it wasn't ready.
It wasn't the, what would have been released.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then there's the embargo. So normally with a route coming out, let's say the route was going to release on Tuesday, my embargo will be Monday, 10 a.m. UTC Monday. Sometimes it's 10 a.m. UTC the same day it comes out, but it comes out later in the afternoon, so that's still okay. You still get content out first, so it's worth the effort. But with something like Train Sim World 6, and the same thing happened with 5, and I'm pretty sure the same thing happened with 4, our embargo was actually the same time it released on consoles for the early access players. So you bust a nut building all this content and it comes out at the exact same moment as everybody else's. You still have an advantage because the other people are only just starting to play it at the time that you can release. But it's not a very big advantage. And when you're competing with streamers with hundreds of thousands, if not millions of subscribers, getting it out 24 hours earlier than them is huge.
I was going to say, like, some of the ambassadors, like you're a fairly, compared to some of the other channels I've seen, not in Train Sim World, but some of the other channels that I'm subscribed to, I should say, you're a pretty large channel. What do you like, 10, 11,000 subs, something like that?
Yeah,
It's a
10,
pretty
10,
decent
6, something like that.
decent number. But like if you get
It is a
Train Sim
decent
World
number.
Riviera at the same time as, say, a certain YouTuber with a bit of an attitude problem,
Who's got 250,000 on that channel and
like, and
2.4 million on another one.
like they're not an ambassador, but like they've got
Sway.
sway, but also like they've got wider reach.
Yeah.
So
much
like
wider reach.
it kind of, to me at least, it doesn't defeat the purpose, because the purpose is more than just previewing the content. There's more to being an ambassador than that. I think people have the wrong idea of what ambassadors are and what they do.
Yeah, some do.
Not all of them. I think the biggest misconception is that you guys aren't actually Dovetail like employees, or
Yeah, there are
like,
people that think we're paid.
hired or
Yes.
paid, or
we're
you're
part-
not you're
or
not
we're in-
tied to Dovetail. I think
Yeah.
it's through a different. That's a tangent for another time, but I always thought you guys had a good couple of weeks to get that advantage of.
No.
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah. So all that content that gets made that weekend.
Far out.
Yeah.
Well, at least now
And-
we know
and-
why everyone goes quiet. There'll be a
Yeah, there'll be a couple of days with no
there'll be
streams.
like an announcement of like this is coming soon to Train Sim World, and then like all of the ambassadors just go like AWOL for like 3-4 days. We don't hear from from you, from Hentus, from British Ace, from no one.
Yeah. I'm getting smarter at that as I pre-record some stuff. So I've got some stuff just sitting on YouTube that's private. And when something like that comes along and I can't put another video out, I'll just make one of those public.
Okay.
So that sometimes works. You've got to be careful. You've got to make sure you don't date it.
I think it might have been you who told me this as well, but also not putting them into playlists, because people can save your
Yes.
playlists, and if you add it, they'll see it. They won't see the video, but they'll see the thumbnail, and it'll ruin it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, and
Yep. And if it's unlisted, they actually can watch it.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
That's been the undoing of me once.
Ooh, okay.
I leaked Five Circle
I heard that, but
because I put up a video in my playlist and it was unlisted, and it was maybe, I don't know, I probably put it up at about 11 o'clock at night, just finished it, and I went to bed.
oh no.
And there was message after message after message from Alex and JD at Dovetail. And that went for about maybe 3 or 4 hours, and then they stopped.
because they realized that you're asleep.
And then I got up the next morning and I saw all these messages and I thought, great. And I took it out, but damage is done. No one knew Fife was coming. No one that hadn't gotten out that Fife was coming.
It's was that like a known thing that you could find videos that way before that, or was that like your way of finding out that was
No,
the
that's
thing?
how I found out that worked that
Okay.
way. Yeah, which is why I tell people to be careful. Don't put things in playlists that are unlisted.
Yeah, see, what I do now is I've got playlists because it just helps keep things all ordered on the channel, but putting a video in the playlist is literally the last thing I do. And it's once the video's gone public, I'll share it to the various Discords, I'll add it to its playlist, and then I'm done.
Yep. It's a good way to do it. The other thing I've done is I've changed my upload default to be private,
Okay.
which every now and again I forget, and I will launch a stream and I'll sit there wondering why there's no viewers for a few minutes, and then I go, oh no, it's still private.
I do like the ability to have unlisted streams and private streams for things like if you wanted to do like a Discord only stream, or if you wanted to test some things out.
I've never really understood the purpose of a private stream, because they say that you can share it to an individual, but only if you know their Gmail.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure once you stop the stream, if you've not shared it anywhere, it's gone. Like, I don't even think it saves it to your studio.
It'll keep a VOD if you turn it
Okay.
on.
Okay.
Yeah, but VOD has to be actively turned on, and by default I have VOD turned on.
Okay. What would the benefit then be between an unlisted stream, a private stream over an unlisted stream?
Well, a private stream, you can only share it with that one person,
Oh, right. Okay.
whereas an unlisted stream, if other people get the link to it, they can watch it.
So as long as you've got the link, you can
Yeah.
jump in it. Okay.
Actually, I can think of one use for a private stream, I suppose, if you were doing a one-on-one educational thing.
Yeah, actually.
You know, like those investment scammers that want to tell you all their secrets.
Oh,
It'd be perfect for them.
investment streamers and those Muppets. Would you like to earn passive income? Put a foot up your butt.
Yeah, I'd love to earn passive income, but you can go away.
Oh. If there was a way for people to earn income without doing anything,
Yep.
they'd be doing it. In fact, at the risk of being a cheeky bastard, I'm pretty sure that's called Centrelink.
Yeah. For the people watching around the world who don't know what Centrelink is, that's where your unemployment benefits come from.
All the Australians will get it, or everyone else will be like, what? Centrelink?
Yeah.
Oh, I was...
Centrelink's known for three things. Not being helpful.
Yep.
Massive queues.
Yep.
Not being helpful.
Yep. Pretty much that. Yep. No,
Yep.
it's...
We've all been there at one time or another.
There was a period of time when Centrelink was slightly helpful because Centrelink was actually in charge of Centrelink, and now, like, all of the government, I have to deal with Medicare a great deal.
And then came Robodebt.
Oh.
Robodebt, if you've never heard of it, was basically Centrelink works out how much of your benefits are going to disappear if you get a part-time job based on your fortnightly earnings. So you submit a statement every fortnight and they will dock your benefits by an amount, depending on what kind of benefits you get, for the next fortnight. And someone in government, I won't mention which one because we don't do politics, had this bright idea that if you averaged that across the whole year, people owed you money. And then they instituted it and it was terrible.
Especially because...
hundreds of people committed suicide.
That's what I was just about to say, because a lot of them didn't even owe a debt.
Yeah, and people would turn up, and bailiffs and sheriffs and all sorts of shit to recover money that you didn't have, that you didn't even owe.
And yeah, and people did the ultimate goodbye over that. Hashtag screw Centrelink. But anyway, yeah, it's...
Yeah, that was one of the shittier times in Australian history. Australian recent history, we've had a lot of other shitty times.
Recent history too.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yes. Don't get me started on the day that happens this month, because that will be bad.
Oh.
That'd be a totally different podcast.
January. Oh.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, sorry. It took me a minute. I'm thinking, January, what? Oh, yeah.
Yes. Putting it really simply for the people around the world that are wondering what the hell I'm talking about, we actually celebrate the day that we massacred hundreds of people.
And every time it comes up about whether it should be like not a public holiday, or should we like call it something else, or should we change the day to a different day, or like what should we do? I don't know.
The world chatters.
Yeah, it's almost as if you've just kicked the Queen in the face or something, or or spat in your grandmother's grave. Like, it's not even that hard a question.
No.
I mean,
no, and it's only been that day since the mid '80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like I mean, we could. No.
Anyway, that would head off into all sorts of other topics about genocides and things, which we won't go near.
No, I actually,
not the right kind of podcast.
I actually like. Oh, that's going to be a cramp. I actually like Lord Vectron's PAIR policy. Lord Vectron has a policy, PEAR, politics, economics, abortion, religion. 4 topics you don't talk about because they'll always lead to arguments.
Yep. Yeah, and that's right. It doesn't really matter what your viewpoint is. There will be someone out there who is violently opposed to your viewpoint.
Yes.
And I'm happy for people to have their own viewpoint, no matter what the topic. I don't give a rat's what's in their head. I don't care. Just don't try and put it in mine.
Yeah, no, this is something I wish more people subscribed to, was the opinion that you believe what you want to believe. I believe what I want to believe. I won't force mine on you. You don't force yours on me.
Yeah.
Let's all just live and let live.
Yep.
But
yeah, that's life.
Almost.
It is difficult to sit here, isn't it?
Yeah, like I don't know if I'm just am I getting old or what?
You probably are.
I turned 35 on Tuesday. It's my birthday.
I turned 60 this year.
Oh damn.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
So how do you think it feels doing a 12-hour shift in a steam engine shoveling coal?
Well, I have said many times I don't know how you guys have the stamina
It's called conditioning. It's a little bit like a horse, all right? A horse cannot do a horse race. They just can't. They can run for maybe 20 meters to escape a predator, and that's it. That's naturally all they can do. But they can be conditioned through training to be able to run a 2.5-mile horse race.
Okay.
That's the same thing.
I always
The more you do it,
this is something
the less
that
the
I
less
always,
bad you feel at the end of the day.
I always just thought horses would just cramp, crikey. Oh, I always thought horses just like to run.
Not
but-
really. Canter maybe, but not outright gallop. No.
Well,
Yeah.
I suppose that's what happens when all of the movies with horses in them, the westerns, have horses running. You see the Melbourne Cup every year, horses running.
Yeah. And if you've ever been around horses in reality, they do run. And sometimes they go flat stick, but they never do it for very long.
I've never seen a horse in real life.
Really?
Yep, never seen a horse in real life.
Oh, well.
I
Make enough noise here, I reckon you will, because the police horses will come.
Oh, actually, I'm sure all I'd need to do is just take my shirt off and run up and down bloody Burke Street, and the police. Oh, probably not. We're in the city.
No,
There's
they
probably
might.
crazier things
Burke
than
Street's
that.
a little sensitive. If you did it in a car, you'd probably definitely get some attention.
Oh.
We won't go there, though. Too late. But anyway, heading back to content creation things, how much do you think your interest in trains in the real world has helped with simulators and creating content about trains?
I think it's.
And note, I'm very distinct with interest and knowledge. So I'm not asking if you've got a deep knowledge of trains, you've just got an interest in them.
I have a burning desire to like know about trains, not in the nitty-gritty tism levels. I hope that's not an offensive thing to say, but
This is serious, Mum.
my
Only Aussies will understand that one. Or the other one. Greg, the stop sign. Or was it Craig? No, it was Greg. It's definitely Greg.
I think my interest, if I didn't like trains, or if I didn't have an interest in the trains we have here in Melbourne, even before I started playing Train Sim World, I found myself, if I was sat at Flinders Street or sat at my local station and a freight train came through, I'd get my phone and I'd record it. Or if a velo was coming through, I really just love the sounds of those things. I'd record it. It helped me overcome the learning curve of Train Sim World. I started playing it as a Games Pass game. It was very frustrating. The tutorials didn't really tell you much, and really,
They are pretty basic.
yeah,
They have a lot of assumed knowledge in them.
it kind of felt like one of those games, yeah, where you kind of, it was expected that you already kind of needed to have like read a book or two, or you kind of already knew a bit before you got into it. I think if I didn't have an interest in trains, I probably would have given up on Train Sim World as a, pardon my bluntness, a bit of an obtuse, hard, stubborn game. It has some peculiarities that
Does.
I don't mind, because like, while we don't have Australian trains, I would love, God damn it, I will love an Aussie route in TSW.
Yeah, I think we definitely would want one.
I've been able.
Some of the peculiarities are because they're trains. And trains are weird and trains are difficult. But some of them are because the game's obtuse.
Well, I mean, you've got things like, and I mentioned this in one of my recent videos as well, is that if you have some knowledge of trains, I suspect when you play a North American freight service, you kind of know that you have to jump into the trailing locos to cut brakes in or out, turn light switches and things like that.
You know, in reality, you don't do that, though.
No, but like, the game doesn't tell you that you need to do that. When you load into a service on Cajon Pass, there are some consists that have like 3 locos up front and then 2 or 3 down the back.
Or some in the middle.
Or some in the middle. If you don't do things to make them work, you're dragging them dead. And the game doesn't tell you that you need to do this. So it
and
assumes,
you'll never get up the hill.
No, and it assumes
that you know.
that you have that knowledge already.
Yeah.
If I didn't,
And the way the game does that, see, in reality, that's called distributed power units. And the way you do it in reality is in the console, the lead locomotive, you log in and you tell it what other locomotives are part of your consist based on the manifest that you've got.
which we can't do in game.
It then connects to them all over the radio and talks to them.
Okay.
And Train Sim World doesn't do DPU at all. It's not implemented.
Right.
So what they did was this thing called banking com. And the idea behind banking com, and it's a bit of a wank, but it's also a bit clever. The idea is that you are effectively talking to the guy that's in the cab of that locomotive.
So it's
That's sitting
basically
there, and
as
you're
you
going,
notch, it notches.
Yeah, I'm putting it into forwards. I'm going into notch 2. And they'll do the same thing down there.
Yep.
And it's like they're copying you, essentially. And that's exactly what the game does. And that's why you've got to turn banking com on first, because if it's a good implementation, when you turn on banking com, the other locomotives will just copy whatever yours is set to. So if it's in forward and it's already notched up and the brakes are releasing, the other locomotives will just do that. But if it's a poor implementation, and there are a few, they still won't do anything because they didn't see the trigger to do anything.
I think the biggest learning curve of Train Sim World, that if I didn't have something keeping me interested in it, which is like the way that I overcame my.
There went a meth head on a skateboard with a 6-pack of very cheap beer.
Yep, someone's been to Aldi. Aldi's got the cheap beers, like $10 of.
Yeah, I don't think it's even that much.
Oh, damn. Well, at least it's not a scooter or a push bike.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that would have put me off Train Sim World if I didn't have the interest in trains, and I think the thing that saved me from hating Train Sim World, essentially, out of frustration, is that I've been able to find, for example, the DBBR612 is essentially a 2-car Velocity, or a 2-car Class 185. It's the same engine and transmission. There's trains in the game that are similar enough that I can squint, tilt my head and jump up and down, and it looks like an Aussie train. And then that, and just finding my own little niche. I do shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
I love me some shenanigans. I've been very fortunate to have Chocky.
I taught you one the other day.
You did. You did. I've actually tried using the locomotive as a jumping off point now to get over invisible walls. It does work sometimes, but you need to, it needs to be like an overpass or a, some of the invisible walls, they're smart and they put them like as high as the camera goes.
Yep.
In camera mode, it's even higher than that, so you can't get past them.
Yep.
But
And some of the invisible walls are quite interesting because they're actually across the tracks.
there's
So you can't walk down the track, but you can go over the top of it on the train.
tunnels. There's a lot of tunnels that have invisible walls on the North London. Crew has an invisible wall.
Bakerloo does.
Bakerloo as well.
You can't walk all the way through the tunnels.
I suspect that is probably licensing and just
Yeah,
safety.
it was insistence from TfL.
Which makes
And
sense.
Long Island Railroad, the oldest one doesn't have it, but the newest ones, the ones that MTA cracked the sads about,
Did you know though?
they have invisible walls everywhere that stop you walking around.
That's the one with the safeties on by default, isn't it?
Yeah,
And you can't turn
and you
them
can't
off.
turn them off.
You can though in the M3.
Yeah, because it's an older one.
Yeah. So you can still have a little bit of fun.
You can actually turn them off in the other ones too.
Can you really?
Yeah. Well, you can't. You're on console.
Keyboard? Command, like console command. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to run UMM or.
Why would you want to though? Because on Long Island Railroad, you need the safeties because it's moving block, and if you don't have the safeties, you'll literally.
Oh, you still see it.
Okay.
Yeah, it still gives you the indications. You just don't have to react to it. And if you don't react to it, you'll run up the arse of the train in front of you, which is funny all by itself.
It is pretty funny. The first time I came into, I forget the name of the stop now, but it's one of those really busy terminuses on the Long Island Railroad. It's one of the first ones you come up and you come down a steep grade into it. But
Penn Station, probably.
it might have
The
been
underground one. The one with lots of platforms.
It's not an underground one. It's above ground, but it's got lots and lots of platforms though.
Yeah,
was
I know that one. Jamaica.
Jamaica, that's it. Yes,
And
it was
where everybody makes the joke. Did Jamaica? No. Just did it by yourself.
I almost crashed into an M7 because I didn't realize. I thought the train was, I thought the AI was busted and hadn't passed the train out of the platform. But I keep veering away from your original question. Told you I'm very, very easily distractible.
It's okay. That's called conversation.
What was your question? Sorry, we're trying to
know, I
get back
don't
on
remember.
track. I think it was
We could rewind it and find out, but I'm not going to.
no content.
Oh, did your interest in real trains? I think that's where we started.
Yes,
Yeah.
interest in real trains helped me get into and stay into train sim world. Besides the tangents there, very lots of tangents. I think so. It's
That guy that just walked past and he's going down the path, just keep an eye on him and see if he starts doubling back here. For the viewers at home, I just saw a meth head walking down the footpath and he looked at the gear.
Yeah, he's one of those typical Melbourne personalities, looks like this.
Yeah. I don't know if it's actually in the camera frame or not, but I have a podcast recording studio sitting in the grass here.
Yeah, but then of course we've also got one train simulator driver sitting there, which also looks like a mean little puffy.
Speaking of podcast studio, how's the battery going? Ah, fine. That's amazing. An hour and 26 and it's only used 17% of the battery.
That's a chunky battery. That's either that's a chunky battery or this roadcaster just doesn't use a lot of power at all.
It's not running XLR mics. I've disabled them.
Okay.
So if it was generating the 48 volts for the phantom power for the mics, it would
chew
eat that battery in about a minute.
But these are what, Bluetooth?
Yeah.
And Bluetooth LE uses practically no power at all.
Yep.
I think the best example of it is I don't have an interest in buses and trams like I do for trains. I own City Transport Simulator. I really only play it one night a week when I stream it. It's a fun game, but
I play it when new content comes out.
I wish we would get new content. We got the Bassel theme DLC, which was like $1. Made some buses look green. Some really cool looking, like, modern bus and tram signs, but
yeah. Train
sim world.
I did see your short about riding around on a car. I thought that was pretty funny.
Shenanigans. If you knew,
I can't say I ever would have thought to try that.
I was just sitting in my bus and it's like, I've got 5 minutes here of dwell time. What can I do? I can't spawn Chocky into the game because we're in Thomas into the game because we're in City Transport, not Train Sim World. And I just saw the cars. I'm like, I think you can jump in this game. And you can jump. And I just started jumping and I'm like, I wonder if I can jump on cars.
And you can.
You can. I mean, I may or may not have tagged a view app in that one. So we'll see if they decrease the jumping height or increase the clip boxes on the cars.
I don't know. I don't think they'll care much.
But
you can actually jump in Train Sim World as well.
Can you?
There's a mod.
Oh.
It's a carriage. And if you spawn that carriage onto the route, from then on you can jump.
Really?
And I'm buggered if I know how that works. But it does.
I don't really. I mean,
you have to reassign horn because it's spacebar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think there's a few things that
And if you jump in a train, it's very funny because your head gets stuck through the top and you can't get back in.
Well, I imagine it would be very easy because there's already some situations where if you move in the moving train, you like get super speeded for a little bit.
Yes, and there are times when you end up in the wrong place and you get sucked out of the train and it leaves.
Yeah, I've accidentally gotten
selfie queen.
I've accidentally gotten out of my driving chair once and been like clipped
Yep.
out of the It's good fun.
I think she just took a picture and noticed the people behind her and
Why do people do that when they're in public?
I don't know.
Like, you're in public, love. There's
Bucket hat. Oh, 10 points.
bucket hats are cool. I like a broad brim hat.
Yeah. I usually have one, but I figured there'd be plenty of shade here, so I didn't bother. And if I go anywhere, it'll be in there, so points at the exhibition buildings on the other side of the museum that I pointed at.
I can't wear a hat when I have my hair up.
That's a dinosaur garden, by the way, in there where all those trees are. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, there's dinosaurs in there.
I thought it was a car park or something, like the
No, that's the dinosaur garden.
dinosaur garden.
Yeah, outdoor
That's
dinosaurs.
wicked.
You can get to it from the cafe.
Are they just like
Yeah, they're
inanimate
fiberglass.
statues, or are
Yeah,
they like
just fiberglass statues.
Oh man.
You go into the cafe and that railing you can see. Well,
Oh, yeah.
viewers can't, but the railing you can see up there is actually part of the cafe. And then you
Ooh.
can come down into here.
Sounds like something Clive Palmer would build.
No, that'd be Titanic.
Oh.
You know why Clive wants to build the Titanic? So he can stand on the front and pretend to be Rose.
No, yeah, no, but if he did that, wouldn't someone, he'd have to watch out because someone would be like,
No, he'd just overbalance because he's front heavy. He'd fall in, and then the Titanic would run him over.
poor Clive Palmer.
What happened, Captain? We hit a Clive. Oh no, we're going to sink.
Oops, someone's in trouble. There's
coppers.
I don't know if this is common knowledge, but whenever there's an ambulance traveling like that with a police car behind it, it's because the cops have put someone in the back of the ambulance.
Yep, and there's one cop in the ambulance now, one follows them. Yep,
It's,
yeah, generally. And your
yeah.
friend's back.
Oh, hello. If I had, oh no, birds aren't
and it's
supposed
friends
to
over
eat
there.
bread.
Yep.
I don't know
Hello,
why,
bird.
but animals, I've never considered myself an animal person, but animals like me.
They're just looking for food, I think, these two. They're just trying to figure out whether we're food or whether we've got any. He reacts like a chicken, doesn't he?
They're very,
Chickens are funny creatures. You can tell why chickens can't possibly survive in the wild without humans. Because if you surprise a chicken, what do? They go.
plus don't chickens, like, unless I'm misremembering something, don't chickens get like cannibalistic and like eat each other?
Yeah, they do.
That always trips me out.
Yeah, we've got chickens at home and, they get the leftover KFC, which is always kind of funny. He's your
Pig
sister.
laying eggs, or this is what's happening to you.
Yeah.
Get the 11 herbs and spices out.
Yep, that's basically it. Well, what can you do?
Not very much.
Not very much at all.
No. So I think in terms of content creation and Train Sim World, I think there's probably only one, maybe two issues I think console players would have that maybe PC players don't have when it comes to Train Sim World, and that's for some reason Creators Club does not like consoles. I don't know if this is an issue that a lot of console players have, but scenarios not loading via the subscriptions, or if you do your subscribing out of order, so if you get a route, then a livery, or a scenario, then a livery, if you don't do it in like a perfectly prescribed order, it just doesn't work. It's a bit of a pain.
Same on PC.
Is it? Okay. That's a bit of a pain in the ass. Pardon my language, sorry. It's a bit of a pain in the keister because Creators Club is in my opinion, one of the better features of Train Sim World. It's
Yes. Part of the issue why Creators Club doesn't work that well often is the proliferation of things like Dostos and 66s. Because if you haven't got the exact one that they used, there's old mate again, he's over there now. But if you haven't got the exact one that they used, it won't work for you, even though you've got that train. Which is kind of annoying.
But I think,
yeah, you're right. If you've got liveries in the scenario, what's meant to happen is you're meant to just get the default version if you don't have it, but that doesn't actually work. And I don't think it ever has.
I think another thing,
and I think they gave up on it.
I don't know if there's a way that they can change this, but another thing that I find happens is custom liveries, custom formations, and scenarios that I don't think will work on console. So like I don't know if it's a livery or an actual custom train, but like sheds with different light clusters or different formation 377s, like with less or more carriages. Those are available in the Creators Club on console. They don't work, but I can see them.
Those are probably modded trains, and people have used them in Creators Club.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're, as far as I know, if you get something like a 377 or a 323, you can't pull them apart and say, make a shorter one.
No, well,
They come in fixed formations, and you can join the fixed formations together in Formation Designer, but I don't think you can take a control unit cab car and an intermediate car and then put another
No,
control
because
unit cab car on the end.
I have very little knowledge of like actual train stuff, but one of the things I think I know is that each of those carriages has a different function in the overall consist of the train. Like one has the pan, one might have the power inverters, one might have.
It depends on the train. In what we usually run in Australia, they're mostly concentrated in the one car. So we have motor cars and trailer cars. And that's the two biggest railway providers in Australia are Melbourne and Sydney, and we both do the same thing, motors and trailers. But they're in the game. I think it will only let you break things down to the smallest formation in the game. It won't let you take a formation apart, an
Okay.
existing formation, because they're not individual carriages. They are a formation.
Right. So you would need to be, it would have to be a mod of some kind then for that to be.
Yeah. And you're not supposed to upload anything to Creators Club that's a mod.
Well,
so it should block the base. There's a thing called the RWWWRW, which is an identifier for the asset in Unreal. And it should block you if it doesn't know what the RWWWRW is, but I know that gets
was
through.
under the impression that you couldn't even upload to Creators Club if you had mods installed. I seem to remember Chocky having to uninstall all of his mods before he would upload scenarios.
Yes, but all you have to do is use the one of the mod managers and go take them all out, and it moves them into another folder. Upload your scenario,
put them all back. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was done to try and defend against that kind of content because it annoys people. You download something, it doesn't work.
Well, I mean, especially if you're on a console, the only thing that works is official content.
Yeah.
No unofficial or mod content works.
Well, it can't.
No.
Yeah. And there's a simple reason why it can't. It hasn't been certified.
Which, I mean, to be honest, I know different people are going to have different opinions on this, but one of the reasons I'm on a console is because it's a walled garden. Like, I don't have to worry about compatibility. I don't have to worry about anything. I can buy it. It works. If it's got the made for PlayStation, it works. And I like that. And I think if mods were going to make the game, not in this exact way, but I think you might know what I'm trying to poke at. If it made the game less reliable or stable,
and some
I
of them
probably
like
wouldn't
that.
be keen on that.
Yeah. There's a time of day weather mod that looks at the time of day that you're running the train in the year of the timetables. Let's say the timetable's set in 2019 and you're running it on the 1st of July, for example. It looks back in the past, gets whole data, finds out what the weather was at that location on the 1st of July, and that's how it sets your weather. And as your train drives, the weather will follow you and it will get set based on the weather at that time in that town at that particular time period.
That's really cool.
And it is cool, but it crashes the game. And a lot of people blame the game. So it's the game's fault that it crashes. Well, no, you're feeding it instructions that it's not expecting.
Because I'm not going to name any names because I'm not. This isn't like a dig at anyone. But I was talking with someone in one of my streams recently about their game having some FPS issues. And one of the things I suggested was, have you tried running TSW Vanilla? No mods, just to see, is it better? Is it worse? Is it the same?
Absolutely should.
And they said that they had, with the exception of the weather mod by someone starts with W or something.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
And I said to that person, devil's advocate,
maybe
uninstall that and see. And their response was, it can't be that. It has to be the game because this mod's been extensively tested.
Well, it's known to crash the game a lot.
Okay.
It's quite commonly discussed.
It's always been interesting to me because there's such a community emphasis on, hey, Dovetail, you need to, hey, all aboard, you need to, hey, blah, 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 fix. And it's like, yes, I agree. there's some stuff that needs to be fixed, but like, I'm of the opinion that some, not all, some of these issues would be resolved if you just ran vanilla TSW.
And some of them would,
It
yes.
might not look as
there are plenty
pretty.
of bugs, but yes, some of them would. And if you submit a bug report through the support and they look at your telemetry and see you're running mods, they'll just delete it.
Really?
And won't even reply.
Well, I mean, that makes sense because how do you know that the mods aren't causing the issues?
Yeah.
It's necessarily like, I saw a video by a content creator who recently discussed,
I don't know if this guy's in frame or not, but he's actually trying to hang a branch back in a tree.
that's not how that works, my dude.
It's really funny. But anyway,
Like, just drop it on the ground, man. It's
it didn't even come from that tree. But anyway,
no,
it's a funny place in the world sometimes. It is a funny place in the world. But yeah, there are plenty of bugs. And if you're experiencing a bug in the game and you do run mods, the first thing you absolutely have to do is get rid of all the mods, absolutely all of them, and try the same thing again. And if you get the same problem, yep, it's probably a bug. But you also got to be a little bit careful because sometimes it's a bug in someone's brain, but it's not really a bug because it might actually be just doing what it's supposed to do. So I know I see it come through as an ambassador and I see it turn up a lot on the forums. Someone who's got really detailed knowledge of a train will tell you that the setup procedure is not right. The procedure for getting it to move's not right. The braking's not right. And they're correct. It's not. It's not as complex as driving a real train because no one could.
this is one of the things that has always interested me is because it's a game, like, and I don't mean that as an insult. I mean that as it is. It's a video game.
Yeah.
I know there are going to be people out there that treat it as seriously as driving a real train or as serious as driving a simulator training to drive a real train.
They're quite different.
Those people exist. Fair play to them. I'm not going to say that's right or wrong. You do you. But like, Train Sim World
there's no reason why you shouldn't do it that way. But don't expect it to actually behave like a real train because it won't.
No,
and it won't for three reasons. It won't because the operators would never let it behave like a real train because then it'd be too easy to steal trains.
Case in point, the RAB 235 or one of those Swiss trains had its like internal switches and that hobbled and all of the safeties had to be dumbed down because SBB were like, you can't simulate that because if they'll learn how to like essentially steal our train.
Yep.
Like, and I get it. But at the same time, I don't get it. Are there really that many people out there?
Do people steal trains? Yes.
So
they do get stolen. It's not publicised very much because they don't want other people to do it. But yeah, it does happen.
I was just about to say, like, I don't think I've ever, like, maybe once in my life heard of a train being stolen. But then, of course, why would they publicise the fact that it happens? More people would probably try to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've also got to deal with the people who are into vandalism and antisocial things like terrorism because a fairly simple thing you could do if you knew how would be to get into the cab of a train and release the brakes and just let it roll.
Yeah.
And it's happened in Melbourne twice in our transport history that I'm aware of. And on one of those occasions, people were killed. And on the other occasion, they got really lucky. They managed to route it into into a platform with a train in it and got the people off the train before it hit it.
Oh, but my days.
And that was a case of a signalling system. See, signalling systems protect you from screwing up.
I thought the one they routed in at Spencer into platform, I thought that was a mixture of a driver error.
It was a driver error that rolled away, yeah.
Yeah, because I think they disabled
routing,
one cab and not fully enabled another cab, so like one of the stop cocks or something wasn't. Interesting.
Well, no, that's how you leave trains set up, is you actually retract the devices that do the stops. But in this particular case, the reason it hit a train was the signalling system protects you. And they had set up a path for that train to leave the platform because it was due out. The signalling system won't let you take that path out. You can unplan it and say, I'm not going to do it. And it all changes colour, but it won't actually do anything for about 2 minutes. Just in case you've made a mistake and you want to put it back.
Okay.
because if you drop a signal to red in front of a driver, they probably can't stop anyway. So that signal's going to stay green for that driver.
Yeah.
But because of that, that electric train came in and followed that path through the points.
Oh.
So they couldn't do anything about it. There's no big red button that stops everything.
Well, I mean, maybe there should be. Maybe there should be a big red button that says turn off power and just kills all of the power to the OHLE.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there was a movie, I think it's actually called Runaway Train, which in America, which is...
Oh, the Crazy Eights or whatever it was,
Yeah.
that freight train.
Yeah, and it's both amazingly accurate and amazingly inaccurate at the same time. It's really weird to explain why it is and isn't, but if you know about train driving, you'd know that what they did wouldn't happen. But you'd also know that once it did get moving, there is no way for it to stop.
Well,
Sort of derailing it somewhere, which is exactly what you would do. You would get out in front of it with a derail block and hold it down on the tracks, and the train will come off the tracks. But can they react that quickly? No. Are there a lot of derail blocks spread around the network? No. But if you got there quick enough, you could jam an excavator and
just get like a bucket or something. And
all you've got to do is cut a slot between two sleepers and put a couple of sleepers in there, and you'll derail it. You won't stop it, but you'll derail it,
and then putting it in the dirt will stop it eventually.
Yeah, and where do you plan to do that where it's not going to hurt someone? I mean, the classic example that I've seen, there's a set of catch points coming out of Spencer Street, which are they're designed to stop an unintended move from getting out onto the mainline network. And there used to be a bridge that crossed there that went into the Spencer Street freight yards. That bridge isn't there anymore, but the catch points still are. So if those catch points are actually set against you and you run over them, you'll end up in that street that runs under the road and floods all the time.
Whoopsie.
Yeah. But the catch points are still there, and they've never been taken out.
Is it just too costly to like remove them, or
they'd have to replan the network.
Bureaucracy?
No, it's more about having to replan the network and redo all the signaling. It's just expensive. And they're probably pinned, so they can't be used. So. But I mean, even the railway I'm on, the catch points that are designed to stop something coming out of the top yard, they'll drop whatever it is into the bottom yard, which is in the platform. We've only had one loco go through those catch points and come off that I know about, but it was a palaver. Because the old-fashioned way of getting a train back on the tracks when you derail it, and this is still commonly used when no one's watching, is that you basically just put wood blocks under it and you jack it up, and you put wood blocks under it and you jack it up, and you put wood blocks under it and jack it up until you get to the point where you can get enough wood under there that you can slide it over back onto the tracks.
Oh, really?
And that's how it's normally done. And whether it's a mechanised version of that or whether it's done by hand, that is what's done. But when it's in the middle of lots of people and there's media and stuff like that, you go and get very expensive cranes and do it.
I was going to say, like, there was a derailment on the Clifton Hill line not too long ago, but it wasn't, like, recent.
Yep.
And
that was all cranes.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing them have to get, like, all kinds of massive cranes. I'm thinking, why didn't they just...
They could have just jacked all that shit up, put it back on the tracks and dragged it away.
Yeah,
no, they didn't.
Like, lever it back onto the OHS. OHS is turning this world mad.
Oh, it's interesting. It's not even OHS. It's just that it looks like it's unsafe, but it's not really. I've been involved in exercises where it's done. We put carriages back on the tracks, and it's very carefully done.
Well, I mean, I expect that even though a train might be in the dirt, it's still an expensive thing. So people are still going to take care putting it back on the tracks.
Yeah. In the US, you can actually get Caterpillar bulldozers that are designed to pick up train cars.
Really?
Yeah, and 4 of them can pick up a modern locomotive.
Damn.
And they're like that because when the US has a derailment, because of precision scheduled railroading and they end up with 2 or 3 mile long trains, an awful lot of stuff ends up in the dirt when they derail one.
Yeah.
And they can be particularly badly mangled. I don't think I'd want to be around an American train that was folding up on itself, to be honest.
No.
Because the physics is interesting. It's one of those things, you'll see someone waving down a train. By the time the driver, or in America's case, the engineer, has seen you and they've decided, okay, I'm going to stop, they'll put the brake handle into emergency, or if they're smart, they'll actually put it into service. but they put it into emergency, and that will lock the wheels on the train progressively through the train. If the train's 2 miles long, it might actually take 4 or 5 minutes to even put the brakes on at the back. Meanwhile, it's gone sailing through whatever they were trying to stop you,
Far out.
because they don't stop quickly.
No, and
And even the little trains that I work on, so yesterday's train was 74 tons plus 35 of locomotives, so about 100 tons. It will stop in about 1.5 train lengths if it's going downhill at speed.
yeah, well, there's
If it's going uphill, you can stop it in your loco length because gravity's helping you.
well, otherwise it's just steel wheels sliding on steel rail. Like there's no,
Yeah. And the brake blocks are on.
yeah, like there's no, like even if the brakes are on as hard as they can be and the wheel's not actually spinning, it's still just a steel wheel sliding.
Yeah.
On,
Yeah.
what's the word I'm looking for? Is it friction?
It is friction, or lack of it.
Yeah, lack of it.
Yep. There's a reason that trains are cheaper to run. Less friction.
Trains are just superior.
Yeah. But if you had a truck that was the size of a train and you tried to stop it, it would struggle too. Simply, it's inertia.
Yeah. Well, that's it as well. It's like the average US freight train's like 7,000 ton. Like if it's going by anything like what it says in Train Sim World. I know this is the dumbest thing.
Well, the ones in Train Sim World are actually quite small.
Are they? Okay. So
Yeah,
bigger than that then.
In Train Sim World, they're limited to 100 cars.
I think I've heard it said that we used to have longer train lengths on the Sandpatch grade before it came to consoles.
Yep.
That's,
Yep. Had 100 car trains.
So it was the consoles that had to. Did you guys? What about the
CS6 heavy haul is what you're thinking of.
Was that the same with the yards and sidings too, or have they always kind of just been empty?
No, they've always been empty.
Because there's a few routes that.
I don't know why they bother putting them in, to be honest, because there's never anything in them.
No, well, I mean, there are some routes where the yards look okay. Like Birmingham to Crewe has a decent filling at Bass Hall. Who Yard's pretty good, but for the most part, you wouldn't be able to fill it up without completely destroying the performance of your console.
Yeah. You look at Frankfurt, for example, where most machines struggle. So I run a fairly powerful gaming rig. It's probably, I don't know, 8 to 10 times more powerful than the PS5. It struggles in Frankfurt. My frame drops to about 30 frames per second, which is quite a drop for me. But when you think about it's that much more powerful than the consoles, what's happening on the poor consoles? You can't fill out that yard. You just can't.
Well, I suppose it could just be one of those things that it's more just my personal view on it, because the game is called Train Sim World. The world part, of course, meaning that you can get out of your train. You're not the train, you're a person driving the train, so you can explore the world around you. But I've always just not been confused, but I've never really understood why it was taken farther than just driving trains. Like, do we really need freight yards? Do we really need TMDs and ETMDs? Train washers, working elevators?
Working elevators, no.
Working elevators is always going to be a bugbear of mine.
Yeah. There's working escalators.
There's working escalators?
There's a few escalators that animate, but there's a couple in the game that will actually carry you.
Why though?
I don't know. They backtracked that one because after that release, they never did another one that could carry you.
Okay, cool. It's a fairly cool idea, and it probably would make me lol if I came across and go, oh, that's a working travelator. That's hilarious. But
yeah. I mean, the good thing about those, though, is when you're experiencing that, you are not in the train. So you're not getting a frame rate drop that's affecting your train because they don't exist when you can't see them.
Okay.
Have you ever looked down the length of a particularly long train where the doors swing out?
Yes.
Have you ever noticed that if you, say, unlock the doors from the cab so they've all opened, and then you go and use an outside view like the 8 camera?
Some of them look like they're not open, or some of them look like they're still open when you've closed them.
Yeah. It's because the game doesn't think that you're close enough to see it, so it doesn't animate it.
Oh, the HST. on the GWE is a particularly noticeable one for that one.
Yes. Yeah, it does. And interestingly, when the GWE remaster came out, the video, that 8 or 10 minute video, whatever it was.
The 484 at Ealing Broadway, none of those back carriage doors open, just the ones on the front. I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw the front carriage, the doors open, none of the rear ones opened.
Yep. And a whole lot of people pointed that out. And it's like, have you never noticed before?
I saw that and I was
Even
like,
Bakerloo does it.
I stopped for a moment because I'm like, is this a bug? Or is this just they've put the camera, the number 8 cam too far away and the game's just like...
Yeah, it's just not animating it because you can't see it.
Interesting.
Have you watched, and this is the real reason why 100-car trains went away, have you watched a train coming down Cajon Pass from a distance and you see the train as it's coming and you go, carriage, pop,
Yep,
pop,
they pop in.
pop.
Yep.
Yeah, it's because the game isn't animating them because you can't see them technically.
When you
reality you can, because
if you
otherwise you
pull
wouldn't
your
see them
8
pop
cam
in.
far away enough and the train comes in, you see the carriages spawn into existence. And if you're watching it leave, you see them spawn out of it. Yeah.
Yep, because they've gone out of what the game thinks is your sight range.
Okay. I wonder, as just a random tangent on that train of thought, is there a way then that they would be able to tighten that player view range? That wouldn't affect...
it's settable in the ini files.
Like, does that affect performance for like blurring and things like that? Or that's
absolutely.
Okay.
Because it's loading more textures and it's got to keep them in memory for as long as you can see them.
Right.
Yeah, it definitely affects blurriness.
I mean...
And if there's... you may have noticed sometimes if you look around, Sherman Hill was notorious for this. Sherman Hill, there were two things. There were rocks and there were a particular kind of feature grass on Sherman Hill that if you looked at them would tank your frame rate.
Okay.
And what that turned out to be, it wasn't their textures being really high resolution, which is what everybody thought it was. Their LOD was set too high, so you could always see it. You could be on the other side of the planet and the game was still rendering it.
Right. Okay. Honestly, I didn't really know what LOD meant, but is it like the...
It's essentially how far away something draws for its full real version.
Okay.
So when you can't see it at all, it doesn't draw. When you can see it, but you're a long way away, it draws a low resolution texture.
Is that the
and when you get
tree popping from like the flat trees to the 3D trees?
And triangular windows that suddenly go square.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. That's LODing.
Okay.
Yeah. So as you get closer to it, it renders in its true form. And some of the low resolution textures, like the windows is the classic example. Why the hell the low resolution version of the windows is not square, I don't know. Because if it was just square and say didn't have the mullins, for example, and mullins are the cross bits, if it just didn't have that, that would probably look better. But you know, you get kind of used to visual artifacts like windows that are triangles that turn into squares. It's worse at night when they're lit up.
I've kind of become used to the fact, on consoles at least, even though there's been a great deal of work being done, and I genuinely do think that there's been some improvement on the blurry texture front, or at least from my experience.
There was a memory improvement with the last patch that saved about 100 meg, so that would have solved it for some trains. I don't think it solves it for the 350s.
It hasn't solved it for the 350. That is still one of the ones that's blurry. But the reason I say that I don't experience it is because I just turn that layer off now.
Yeah.
I have legitimately turned off the 350 local services on Birmingham to Crew, and it runs 60 frames solid. Like,
yeah. One of the things that Matt's mentioned a few times, Matt Paddleston, the producer of well, he's not the producer anymore, he's management these days, but one of the things that he said doesn't gel with me. And that is the reason that they have 4K textures is so that you have straight lines and it's smooth and crisp and things like that. 4K textures in Unreal is a 4096 by 4096, and I think it's 32 bits of color depth. Or is it? No, maybe it's 10 bits of color depth. I think I'm going too far. It's 10 bits of color depth, I think. But why that is needed when you're rendering something that's 2 pixels wide. Why do you need 4096, and they're called texels, they're not called pixels, to render that 2 pixels? And as it gets closer to you, now it's 4, now it's 16, now it's 32, now it's 64, as it's getting closer and closer. When you're looking right at it, inside a cab, I reckon a 4K texture is a good point, because you want things like the dials around your gauges to be crisp and look smooth and not be jaggy. But does it really matter if the moquette on the seat is a bit rough?
See, I've argued.
Does it really matter if the poles inside the train are a bit rough? Does
I've
it really
argued-
matter if the outside of it's a bit rough?
No.
Probably not.
No,
Probably
and
no one
I
would
would
really
argue
care.
that if they were able to figure out a way of having the player control, because I think when a player is controlling a train, it has physics. As soon as you are not controlling the train, it doesn't have physics.
Yeah,
If
it
they
uses,
were
it
able-
uses a simplified version
If
of
they were able
the
to do
simulator.
something like that, where the player control train has all of the good textures, but anything that's just AI timetable or not player controlled has like nice outside textures, but everything on the inside's just like,
They would actually be separate trains,
okay,
and you'd have problems with guard mode.
right.
But they would have to be different trains, because Unreal doesn't know how to render them differently.
Oh, okay. Bugger.
Yeah.
Because that would be, I think in my limited understanding, I think that would be a nice way to kind of save some memory budget, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it's done in all games. You've watched Railroader on my streams
Yeah.
occasionally. Have you ever noticed that the wheels don't go round until you look at them?
No.
So if you can see the wheels off in the periphery of your vision, they're not turning.
Okay.
When you look directly at it and you're close enough, the wheels turn.
I wonder. Is
TSW doesn't do that. In Unity actually has a concept of a rotating object.
okay.
So the wheels, it knows how to rotate the textures. It does that by itself. Unreal has no clue about rotating things, which is weird, because it's got cars and trains in it, and trucks.
Yeah.
But
Is that why the wheel spin always looks a little bit
yeah,
weird in Train Sim World? Like
Yeah.
they never look like.
that was distracting. It's a texture
They
that's just getting moved
yeah,
around.
but they always
yeah.
look off center.
Yep. Yep.
That's a
That is
shame.
basically what it is. And I think a lot of people don't understand that when you see someone go, oh, you need to optimize that.
Optimizing means
That's what
dumbing
they
it
mean.
down.
It's don't animate it as much. Use lower resolution textures.
This is why I laugh every time you point it out, because you do. Whenever you see those low res sheep, look, optimized sheep. More of these, please. No, I don't want it. Like, I wanted optimization until I'd found out that's what optimization is. I don't want that.
Yeah.
Like,
And I support the optimization of things like sheep. There's nothing wrong with using a low resolution sheep, because how many people would do what I do and go and have a conversation with the sheep?
not many.
Yeah, fuck all.
Yeah, not many at all.
no one's quite that dumb.
This is probably a bit of a hot take. I'm prepared for that, but I don't think Train Sim World routes need to be as detailed. Distant scenery, that's the buzzword people like to use. I don't think we need as detailed distant scenery.
Well, in recent routes, we haven't got as detailed distant scenery. It's been going away.
Yeah.
And if the route longer doesn't really matter, but complexity matters. And when you've got a route with big yards and things like that, that distant stuff has to be overridden so that you can actually see the whole yard. So if you're standing on a platform at a big station like, I don't know, Stuttgart, and it's got, 12 platforms? You have to be able to see all that track. And all the signals have to render. And all that stuff has to render. Because if it doesn't, it'll look just like crap. And that means they're actually overriding the LODs. And they're overriding the texture streaming. Because they have to so you can see it.
Yeah.
Whereas out in the middle of nowhere in Cajon Pass, they don't have to do that. Because the distant stuff just doesn't matter. Mittenwald Bard's another classic example. They had to do a workaround in Mittenwald Bard. Have you ever noticed when you're, it is Mittenwald Bard with the steep hill, when you're going up the hill, you see planes landing right at the start of the route?
I don't think I've noticed that, no.
I think it's Mittenwald Barn.
I don't think I have.
No, it is. It's Mittenwald Barn.
I don't think I have Mittenwald Barn.
Oh, okay.
Is that the one with the E90? Is it the E91?
Yeah, the crocodile thing.
Yeah, no, I don't have.
You come out of the station at the lowest and you start climbing, and you climb quite rapidly. And at about the point where you can see planes landing at the local airport, it gets foggy in the valley. And it gets foggy in the valley so they don't have to render the damn thing.
I've seen that fog. I have seen that fog.
Because I don't care what kind of machine you have, you start rendering that, you're going to be under 1 frame a second.
Birmingham to Crewe does it.
Yeah, there are a couple of
Preston
places where
to
they used it.
Carlisle does it. There's a few that do it.
And Banana Linear?
Yep.
Yeah, that does it. Because you can literally see halfway across the planet from
I
Banana
think
Linear.
the Semmeringbahn does it too. And the reason I say that is because the Semmeringbahn has this weird effect where as you're coming up the grades, it looks like what the game's trying to do is mountain, cloud, but like the mountain's poking through the cloud. But then there's this weird fog and it just looks like half the mountain's missing, half the fog's just like a milky soup. It's weird.
Yeah. They did like Arosa. Rivet got caned because mountains were disappearing. And half the mountain would just vanish as you drove past it. And it was funny as hell. It was so obvious because the whole mountain disappeared. But that's logic. That's how the games work.
I feel bad for Rivet.
And that's why they came up with a different scenery method, because if they'd persisted with that method, routes like Cajon Pass with those big hills and cliffs simply wouldn't have been possible. The Austrian stuff with the big mountain ranges. That's why they use photogrammetry. And when you're far away from it, it's exactly that. It's a picture.
Right.
And when you get close to it, you start to see detail in 3 dimensions and stuff like that. Yeah.
Although I'm pretty sure it was you streaming on your Xbox. And I don't remember what route it was, but I'm pretty sure you remarked that it was less stuttery than it was on your PC.
Yeah, less poppy. And I think the reason for that is the shadows are dumbed down on consoles.
I was going to say, I think there's I got to think of the bloody words now. I hate my inability to use words. There's a weird thing that happens I've seen it on Mega Sims Xbox Series S, and Series S? The lesser of the 9th gen ones.
That's the S.
And it happens on my PS5 as well, is that shadows, like as your train's coming down, shadows will like, once it's like 3 or 4 cars away from you, the car's shadow will pop in. So it'll be like 66, wagon, shadow, no shadow. And as it moves, it's like pop, shadow, pop.
Yep.
I always assumed that was on the consoles because it's just not able to handle like the proper shadow.
The shadow load distance is forced in the game to be a lot less than the viewer distance.
Okay.
Yeah, and to look realistic all the time, they should be the same, but the machines can't handle it. Even in the PC, the shadow rendering distance is forced. You can't change it in the ini file.
I would just like to see an option for no shadows because I think they're kind of pointless.
You know what it look like?
Train Sim Classic.
Yep.
I don't know. Someone remarked that Train Sim World has a Train Sim Classic mode.
It does.
But it's like a dev mode. It was you.
Yeah.
Why don't they just turn it on and be like...
It's not really a mode of the game. It's Unreal with shadows turned off.
I still think that would be performance gold, though.
Yeah, it does a lot of other things to your textures, though. So all of those nice 3-dimensional aspects you get from the trains, they won't be there anymore.
Oh.
So it is exactly Train Sim Classic.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And
it dumbs the engine down so it doesn't know how to do shadow casting and it doesn't know how to do lighting and things like that.
So it's basically putting it back to what it was before they made Train Sim World. More or
Look,
less.
yes and no. It's just an accident that it looks like that because those engines had nothing to do with each other.
Okay.
The engine that is in Train Sim Classic was originally built by Kuju. It has roots in the Microsoft Train Simulator engine, but only bits of it. And it was developed specifically for the train simulator.
Okay.
It is its own thing. It's a bit like SCS, I guess, building for the truck sim.
Yep.
They, I think, probably made some better guesses than Train Sim Classic did because those games are actually about the same age. And their engine has stood the test of time and Train Sim Classics really hasn't.
SCS, that's Euro and American Truck Sim.
Yeah. It's granted it's version 2 of it. So it's Euro Truck Sim 2, which was the new engine, and ATS was built on that engine.
Okay.
But it is the same engine, but they introduced shadow casting and all sorts of stuff like that.
Is there any reason why, if you can say, or if you know, is there any reason why Dovetail haven't looked at making their own engine for Train Sim World?
Money.
Okay.
Well, they did. Train Sim Classic.
I mean,
That is their engine.
yeah, but it seems to me, again, limited knowledge, it seems to me that a lot of the issues seem to be from the fact that Train Sim World is in Unreal, and Unreal isn't really the kind of engine you use for these types of games. So I've always just been curious.
Yeah, it's there's no right answer.
Okay.
There's no wrong answer. There's no right answer. Could you build your own engine that purposely made a world that trains work better in? Yeah, probably. But you'll spend a lot of money doing that.
Horses for horses, it's not.
Yeah,
It's
and-
not worth the return on what you would spend, really.
Yeah, and there's other games. Subway Sim 2 is in Unreal Engine 5.
Okay.
So look at that as a preview of what TSW might look like one day. And they've had a lot of issues.
I was kind of going to say Subway Sim 2 isn't even that great a game, if I'm
Yeah.
being honest. It's more of a pain in the butt to play than Train Sim World. It's
only because some of the trains are mental.
Yeah, it's basically because they've upped the Germanness of all the trains. They're very,
Yeah.
very German.
Yes, there's nothing quite like a German train for mental torture.
Oh, my days.
Well,
Well,
B94 being the worst one ever.
they do only have two moods, hate you or about to hate you. They just haven't decided when yet.
Yep,
German
pretty much.
trains, man.
But you could use others. I mean, if you look at Railroader, that's in Unity.
Okay.
There are other train games in Unity as well. And they all have their issues. So Unity in Railroader, it's quite good. But have you ever noticed there's only one tree? There's literally
Yeah.
one tree. Across the whole game, there's one tree. And that's not because they like that tree. It's because if they start populating out the forest with the random variation, I mean, even here, this is a curated garden, and there's probably, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different species of tree just in this little space that's 100 meters by 100 meters. If they actually built it out like that, they wouldn't have enough ability to run the trains anymore. And it's a train game. It's not a tree game.
Yep.
So the trees are there for a bit of ambience and a bit of scenery, but they don't need to be different. No one really cares. You never hear anybody comment on that, do you?
No.
Train Sim World, we have lots of different kinds of trees. And we
Yeah.
even have super trees. So we've got trees that are so realistic, they actually hurt the frame rate.
Really.
Yeah.
But
But you can't see them most of the time, so it's fine.
I have noticed that I don't think they did this in Train Sim World 4. Maybe they did in Train Sim World 5, but I have noticed that the trees do a lot more of that wind affectedness. Like they blow and twist in the breeze now.
I think it's always had that, but I think it did become more obvious somewhere along
Well,
the
there's
line. that
even
they
on
noticed.
West Coast Mainline South, and other routes I think have it too. There's certain bits of the route where just like random wind will kick up, just like a swirl of leaves.
Yeah, they're little animations.
That kind of stuff, like it looks really nice. I was genuinely impressed when I was at Watford Junction, when you go from the main platform to the one where the 377 sat. On that little path is where I first saw that little wind spinny leaf effect. I thought, it's really cool. It looks really cool, but do we need it? Like,
No, it's fun to look at occasionally.
yeah,
And you know, in Unreal, if you look at a tree top down, unless the game renders it out because you're looking at it, so if you're close enough to it, it'll render it as a tree. But most of the time, they're across like that.
really.
Yeah. And you will catch in the periphery of your vision that the trees are just a two-dimensional cross. And they change into a tree when you get close to them and you can see them.
I see the tree popping on East Coast Mainline, but that's, you can kind of just see them going from flat 2D trees into like the popping into the 3D trees.
Yeah. And even 2D, they're not really 2D because it's two planes.
Two 2D things X'd together.
Yep. So when you look at it on an angle, it looks like a tree. There's a lot of cleverness in game building.
I think as well
to get around performance issues.
I think it might have been you that mentioned this as well. That Unreal or Epic, whatever they call themselves, were impressed and shocked, I think was the words. They were impressed and shocked to see what Dovetail had done with their worlds in
Yeah,
Train Sim World. Like
because Unreal is a free roam world engine. It is not designed for worlds that are a few hundred miles long and 100 miles wide. It's just not. It's designed for something like Call of Duty, where you can see what we're seeing in this park. You can see that there's an element of buildings at the edges, and you can see some trees and some people.
Call of Duty is
but when you
basically
move,
a roller coaster.
Yeah, when you move, and let's say you went up to the other end of the park that's up that way behind you, you will see a totally different scene to what you see here.
Yeah.
Because it renders that little window of the world for you. I don't know if Call of Duty is actually an Unreal. I'm just talking about the gaming sense before someone jumps on me in the comments.
No, what?
They probably have by now, though. It's too late.
Yeah, no. Call of Duty and Battlefield players are very, very passionate. Very, very passionate.
Yep.
I suppose so are Star Wars fans. There's a bunch of
Hentus, Star Wars, Call of Duty, and trains.
I don't know why. I just looked around as if I was expecting to see Hentus walking up the park. Yeah.
Well, it's a girl version of Hentus coming.
There's a bunch of 501st walking around, and
yeah, they come and support Brickvention because Brickvention donate to their charity.
I like the 501st, not just because they're Star Wars. But,
I used to work with as a stormtrooper in that.
I actually got a picture last year with...
He came into work wearing it once.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. I got a picture last year with the stormtrooper, and this year I did say to them, I only wanted the stormtrooper because I don't do rebel bullshit or language. Language. Long live the Empire. And then all the bloody rebel pilot got in the photo too. It's all good though.
Well, here's a question for you. What actually is the good side in Star Wars?
Neither of the rebels or the Empire are the good side. But in saying that, I've always jokingly sided with the Empire, but realistically, they're the elected government who are essentially trying to be overthrown by what is, for lack of a better word, a terrorist organization who blew up a battle station with how many hundreds of thousands of innocent, like, shopkeepers and librarians and armorers and, like, cleaners and elevator technicians. They weren't all just stormtroopers on the Death Star.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there were probably some kids there too.
Yeah. I mean, in Counterpoint, that was in revenge for blowing up an entire planet. But
yeah, but like...
But yes, you ask yourself, what is the good side?
I don't...
Star Wars is more a statement about world politics than anything.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean...
There is no clear good side.
They made an entire movie about politics. Episode 2, they call it Attack of the Clones, but I'm sure they mean Attack of the Senate. It's just fucking politics.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
I think everything these days has just, whether unnecessarily or necessarily, just become essentially politics.
And that is why we have games like train simulators, because they have no politics.
I love it.
It's a break.
It really is, though. I said it on our West Coast Mainline relay race. Sometimes it's just fun.
Yep.
It's like to just play a game.
Well, hopefully it's always just fun, but sometimes you take it more seriously than others. But
it would be cool if it was always fun.
It's a bit like the way I drive in the simulator. It is not in any way similar in the slightest to the way I drive a real train. When I'm driving a real train, I am 100% concentrating on the job of driving a real train. I do not even think about anything else, because I don't know if you're aware of the psychology of it, but humans can actually only think about one thing at a time. And you prioritize all of the other inputs and you will pay attention to them when you need to. That's how the human mind works. And when you're paying attention to things driving a steam train, there's hundreds of things that you're paying attention to, but only one of them is occupying your head. You can kind of context switch. So I'm very, very careful in that because I am mindful that behind me there's 400 people that I could kill. And it doesn't take much of a screw up to actually do it. It really doesn't. And in the game, I don't want that level of stress.
No,
And in the real world, you can handle that because while you were doing that job, the adrenaline's pumping. And at the end of the day, it's one of the reasons why people who operate machinery, who drive trains, who have high stress jobs, have to be very careful on the drive home because you come down off the adrenaline rush. You might get another little one because you're driving a car, but you'll come down off it and you can end up in a bad way. So you've got to be careful. You've got to manage yourself on the way home. And there is no way to give you that adrenaline spike in a train game.
no, but at the same time,
Because when it crashes and takes off, it's just funny.
yeah, but like, this could just be me. I don't understand why people would be trying to find that in the game.
I think people do. There are people who drive them that seriously.
I mean, I don't mean,
And they try to.
I don't,
They try to, but it's only going to be an approximation. So the train itself is an approximation. The world is an approximation. But the way they're behaving is an approximation too, because they don't have that adrenaline spike. They don't have the endorphins. They don't have the things that's making their brain work to the level that it needs to operate a train.
well, I don't believe you ever could replicate it in Train Sim World.
No, you can give people in a game a brief adrenaline spike with a jump scare. And there's plenty of horror games that do it. And I love them. I don't play many of them on stream because they don't stream very well because they're usually so bloody dark. But they're great fun games. But I don't think you could do that in a game that's running for hours.
No. I mean, the closest you could probably get to giving someone a jump scare or an adrenaline rush in Train Sim World would be if they figured out a way to have a green signal drop to a red signal randomly out of nowhere. You'd shit yourself because it's a red signal and you'd potentially spad.
Yeah, it'll give you a jump scare.
But like,
and how many times do you come across a red signal that you end up sailing through because your mind wasn't paying attention?
lol.
Yeah.
Melbourne train guy has left the chat.
And doesn't that happen to all of us?
It does.
Yes.
It does.
In real life, spads happen. But they usually happen because the poor bastard driving the train is maybe having a bad day. Or the signalman did something stupid and they actually did drop it back in front of their face. Which, can happen with mechanical signalling. Or maybe something's going on at home. Someone's sick. They had an argument before they left the house. Their mind's not on the job. That's why spads happen. And if you're playing a game, you've probably noticed spads happen more at the end of a 2-hour run than they do when you're starting out. Granted, I have started a train sitting at a station and spatted.
Yeah.
Because you don't expect that first signal to
No.
be red, so you don't even look at it. But
Well,
in the real train, what happens is we're standing in the platform and the guard gives right away. The driver turns to the fireman and says, right of way. So he's copied the signal to you, even though you can't see the guard, so you know what's about to happen. And at that moment, both of you, we've got an authority. So you either have a staff or a ticket. You've got the departure signal. You've had the right of way. Water's good, fire's good, go. If any of those checks fail, you don't move. And in the real trains, it's like that. Have you seen a Japanese train driver? They make it obvious.
yeah.
Signal, speed, time.
Point. And I
Controls.
think they do the pointing because it's one of those ways of reinforcing that, like, I am looking at the signal is green. I am looking at the time is correct. I am, like, they're
it's
like reinforcing.
It's a focus technique.
And
I imagine it's also an ass cover because if you're on CCTV and you're seen pointing at the signal, it says that I've looked at the signal. So I reckon it's an ass covering thing as well on their part. Japanese is all about ass covering.
Oh, they have an entirely different like work corporate ethic in that part of the world.
The salary man.
Yeah,
that's diabolical.
it really is.
Yeah. And it's actually funny because we're getting a bit off topic, but the Japanese people are seen to be prudes. And, I've been to Japan a couple of times. When they let their hair down, Man, do they let their hair down.
I wouldn't call them prudes. They've introduced some of the most diabolical stuff to the internet that the internet's ever seen. How can they be prudes? How can they be prudes? I mean, I'm not going to say the things, but if you know, you know.
They're actually very interesting people, and the way their society works is very interesting too, because Aussies couldn't survive in it
No.
for any length of time because it is too tightly controlled. We don't do control very well.
No,
No.
we really do not like control.
No. We also don't like things that get in our way.
Yeah.
Yep. We're used to a bit of freedom here, which is funny because we have no laws that give us freedom. Do you know that? None at all.
I thought we had some kind of constitutionally enshrined freedoms.
No.
But
No, we only have common law.
at the risk of getting controversial, we had in the lockdown times that we had here in Victoria, when they introduced that curfew, that's when I kind of realized that maybe we don't.
Yeah, we don't.
Which
Yeah.
is
What we've got is precedent and case law. So we've got the common law that we inherited from Westminster, because our parliamentary system and legal system are based on the English Westminster system. And it's also based on UK law. There are laws in Australia that date back to about 535, I think is the oldest one.
yeah,
That, it means nothing, but it's still there.
yeah.
And because we've got that history and we've got our own localized version of it as well, we have implied freedom. But it's very easy to take away implied freedom. I mean, you've seen it here. What did the cops do at just before New Year's? They declared what they called, what was it, a gazetted area or something? So they could search you without provocation or reason.
Yeah.
I don't think they do search many people. I think they do genuinely actually search assholes, but
I think I've always kind of operated under the assumption that they're really, it's kind of, they do it as an excuse, but not as like a wide, we want to target everyone excuse. It's more like, we know this area's got a lot of Muppets. We want to hit up all these Muppets, but we don't want to have to like dot the T's and cross the I's. This is a prescribed area. If you come into this area, we get to search you. You look like a druggie. Come here.
Well, they can't basically, because if they see someone walking down the street that they think's about to cause a problem, unless they can prove it, they can't get a warrant.
Well, that's it. You need
Reasonable suspicion.
That's the one.
Yeah. But by having that power, they can search people.
Well,
and it was really funny because after that, when they called that off, well, I can't remember which journalist it was, but they wrote that out of all the people they searched, only 1% of the people had weapons. And I sort of found that was comforting that only 1% of the people had weapons. Not that 99% didn't.
It's it is comforting, because I think the media likes to play up just how dangerous things are. I don't think things are, in our country at least, I don't think things are as dangerous.
Generally not. Most of the time in Australia, you can leave your house, go and do something, and come back and you will not be hurt or shot. That's not true in many places in the world.
No. It's
especially if you follow the golden rules. Don't meet the meth head stare.
Oh man. I'm kind of unlucky in the sense that I really only have one bad habit that I'm still trying to kick. I'm a cigarette smoker. So still trying to kick that habit, but it's one very, very easy way to attract druggies is if you are a smoker.
Can I buy a durry, mate?
Exactly right. Got a durry? Got a spare durry? No, I don't. I'm a CUNT, because if you've asked me...
What about some ice?
Oh.
We've all met them.
Man.
Yep.
It's life, I guess. Modern day life.
It is. Well, it's not just modern day life. It's been all of history. I mean, you've heard of phrases like consumption.
Yep.
That's a polite way of saying it, drunk.
Yep.
Someone who's so drunk so often they've actually poisoned themselves. life.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're fairly lucky. That
We
is why
really
we call
are.
it lucky country.
Yeah.
But even that's propaganda, but that's okay.
Well, I mean, there's that thing again, this is verging on the political. There's that thing that just happened recently in New South Wales. You'll know what I mean.
I do.
Australians will probably know what it is I'm referring to, which has meant that they're introducing some new regulations for things.
Yep.
And the debate at the minute is whether that's being rushed, not rushed, whether it's going to fix the problems, not fix the problems.
It probably won't, because laws constrain people who want to do the right thing.
Well, this is something I don't understand why politicians don't get. Criminals don't follow laws.
Yeah, but when they don't follow the law, that's how you punish them, because they didn't. Because the law is the definition of society's norm
Yeah, but I mean,
to a reasonable person.
When
That's
you-
the key words.
Yes.
That's actually important in Australian law, because most things are to a reasonable person. Don't know who this mythical reasonable person is.
I've never met them. I've never met them.
I was just thinking to myself, thinking of reasonable people, I actually think we're watching a cult group over there. Because every now and again, they get up in a giant circle and all walk around holding something in the air. And I think maybe it's a little cult. But anyway,
I wonder if we can.
no, I'm not going over there.
Oh no. I was going to say, I wonder if we can see anything identifiable. I always love looking up cults and researching them.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
But anyway, we strayed away from gaming a little bit. And
We did.
I think we covered things around gaming. We've covered things around content creation. We've covered things around various interests. We've skirted around politics without talking about politics. There's our first tram, trying not to run someone over.
I think that's an. No, that didn't turn. That's the 87. 97, sorry.
I used to know the tram network backwards because I don't mention it very much, but I used to work in fare systems and I was one of the architects of Metcard.
Nice. I love Met cards, man. They were, I think it's safe to say, well, at least in my opinion, they were like, that was peak Melbourne public transport, were the Met cards. There were all different kinds of cool collectible ones.
Yep. And the random ones we used to make the TVM spit out. We had little Christmas trees. One of the guys, he got in a bit of trouble for this, but you know the ASCII art?
Yep.
Nude woman?
Yeah.
Yeah, at one point TVMs in Flinders Street was spitting them out.
It's hilarious.
He thought so.
No, it's proper hilarious.
I have to say the guy I spoke to from PTC, he thought so too, but he wouldn't go on the record to say he thought so. Yeah, it's kind of an Aussie joke, that one. Anyway, I think we've kind of reached a natural conclusion.
Probably. Otherwise, I'm just going to waffle on in circles.
Yeah. It's been good chatting with you.
It has. It's been good.
For those who don't follow him, Melbourne Train Guy on YouTube, go find him. I'll put a link in the description to this.
It's
And if you're listening to this on Spotify, there is also a more visual version where you might see some of the stuff we were talking about that was surrounding us in the park on YouTube. So enjoy. Thank you for joining in today. And thank you to all of the members and subscribers and all those other fun people. You know the deal. Like, subscribe, that sort of thing. Go like him too.
I do have a YouTube channel. I upload 3 videos a week. I do 3 streams a week. They're always fun. Sometimes they're a little bit hectic, but they are always fun.
Sometimes hectic. Think I'd go a little more than sometimes. They are a good watch. And I see more of your stuff after the fact than the streams because I've usually got something else happening while you're streaming.
Well,
that's life.
I think it's just one of those unfortunate things that all of the Australian content creators seem to all be creating content at the same time.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's not often
it's like me with the other ambassadors too, because Hentus, me, Megasim, not so much because he's a bit busy at the moment. British Ace and Richie are often live simultaneously. And we share the same niche audience, so we kick ourselves in the nuts a lot, but none of us have the right to tell another one to not go in that time slot, so we don't.
No, I mean, I think one of the things, just touching on content creation, just as something, because it's something that I questioned, and I think it might be worth mentioning just in case anyone else has come across this question themselves. There are no time slots on YouTube. There's enough YouTube to go around. So if you, for example, want to do a stream at 7 o'clock on a Wednesday, and there's someone else who does a stream at 7 o'clock on a Wednesday,
Or 7:30 like
or
me.
7:30
Or
on a
randomly
Wednesday,
changing it to 6 o'clock or 6:30 or 7 o'clock
I
because I'm
think
annoying.
I think if it helps anyone, don't worry.
Yep.
I worried about it for a while, but there's enough YouTube for everyone.
Yep, this is very true.
And there's such a thing as VOD, watching it back. You don't have to watch them live. So
Yep.
most of my views come after the fact, after the thing's gone live. So
Yeah, that's definitely a good one, is don't worry about who else is live when you are.
yeah,
And I'm not even a big believer at publishing stuff at particular times, to be honest, because I've
No.
done a lot of experimentation with it and I don't think it makes any difference at all.
YouTube will tell you sometimes that it is better to put a video to go live when your audience would typically watch it. It's the internet. It's YouTube. The video is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to watch whenever.
Yep.
It
Yep.
doesn't matter if you set it to go live at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
Or
The only group of people it matters for are the ones with notifications turned on, because if they're asleep, they probably won't see it, because it will have drifted off their phone's notifications by the time they see it.
But that's what the Discords are for. Ping everyone in the Discords. New video, new video, new video. Watch my video. Ping them all.
Yep, advertising.
So I have enjoyed this chat. I do apologize that it was a little bit hibbity hoppity. I'm not good at, unless I have something physically written down in front of me to follow, I'm not good at sticking to a single train of thought.
I think you've done fine. Yeah, you should be quite happy with yourself. But it's been good. It's been entertaining. Been a fun conversation. That's what we need.
We played a game.